I'm like at 89%. I was like 100 like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Well, we are now live.
I can't see you guys.
Well,
we could see you.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe we're live. Couple
all right, sweet.
Special guests. Oh, I got all confused because of how it's all inverted. Special guests, SD and Steve.
Oh, woohoo!
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show.
I can't see you.
She can't hear us.
Oh, now
Hold
she
on.
can hear us. Ah, this sucks.
Why?
She can't hear you now?
Yeah.
Like we're always
working the kinks out.
Yep.
I don't know why. Hold on.
Is it on?
Man, I can totally hear you guys. I got no picture on your end.
Why is that? That's weird.
Everything was fine before we went live.
I don't know. Steve's picture.
There you are.
Oh, okay. SD, can you hear us yet?
Hold on.
I'm guessing not. That's not going to help.
SD join the conversation.
I see you're talking to me. We are talking. We are.
I can see you guys and hear you guys great.
Okay. I'm going to...
So she can see us.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go into my settings. All right. So I have it set up for the right microphone.
Oh, I saw her.
I have...
There she is.
You can see everybody?
I can hear SD typing.
Right?
Yeah, I heard her too. This is awesome.
I can hear you laughing.
Yeah, I can see her. I just got no audio from her.
She's like, well, that doesn't benefit.
Oh, shit.
She's like, stop staring at me. I can hear her. I can hear her. This is good. But I can't hear Maggie and Sean.
Oh, you can't hear us now?
Okay.
Okay, now we're good.
What?
No
SD, can you hear her?
Yes. We're all good. I got audio and video.
All right, hang on a second.
Hold
Maggie's
on.
going to try something drastic.
Oh, Lord. I lost SD. There she
Okay,
is.
can you hear us now?
Yep.
SD, can you hear me?
No, because the microphone's plugged in. Just go back to the mic. It's not the
I
microphone.
just switched the microphone.
Yeah, but it's plugged in still.
Can you hear me now?
Anybody hear us?
Maybe it's on my end. Should I refresh the thing?
Yeah.
I can hear her.
Yes.
Refresh.
Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
All right. SD left and she's coming back.
SD's gone.
Yeah, she's coming
In
back.
the meantime, how about a nice cold beer
Hey,
from
no
Miller Lite?
advertising.
Refreshing. Oh, sorry.
Yay! I hear things.
You can hear? Okay, good.
Yay. Everybody's here. Now, can we blow them up so we're not looking at us? I don't really want to look at us.
I don't think that we see us.
No, I do. I definitely see us. I want to see them.
Who do you want to see? Because we
Both
can.
I can't see both of them.
No, you can see one or two.
SD is definitely easier on the eyes.
Okay, we'll look at SD. We'll see tiny Steve.
I agree.
We'll see tiny Steve in the corner.
All right, so everybody here has seen it twice. All right, hang on. Just announcement.
No,
for
I've
everybody
seen it
watching.
once.
No, I've seen it
Spoilers
once.
ahead. Just anybody watching, just in case. Spoilers ahead.
It's in the title, it's in the tags, and it's in the description.
Spoilers ahead. Anybody tuning in, spoilers for everything Marvel, all the Marvel things.
Yeah.
If you're behind,
Yeah, leave now if you haven't. If you're not up to date, leave. Just come back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did say in the description and everything, but in case you can't read and you're tuning in, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna start off with just addressing the fact that who was really surprised that they just went right away after Thanos? Did anybody see that coming?
No, not at all.
The fact that they were like, hey, we're a team, let's go. No, I wasn't surprised at all. Because they were dying to hunt him down.
See, I thought it was cool the way in the trailers that everything we saw in the trailers was from the beginning of the movie. But they made it sound like it was later in the movie. I thought that was masterful.
So I kind of was surprised that they didn't include the Captain Marvel end scene in the beginning of the movie because they always do that.
Yeah.
That's real faith in your fan base. It didn't bother me, but it like kind of caught me off guard. I was like, oh, okay, so
what was the Captain Marvel end scene? I forget.
Oh, we can't hear you.
I lost Esty again.
Yeah, I lost her.
We can't hear you.
God
damn it.
Steve, what was the Captain Marvel end scene? I forget.
I have no idea.
See, she just saw Captain Marvel, so that's why she remembers more than the rest of us.
I remember the cat throwing up. What was the other end scene, though?
Esty, we can't hear you.
Oh, it's them dancing.
Wait, what?
Oh, Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have no idea.
I was like, what does Ted Danson have to do with anything?
No. I said they're dancing. I thought you were talking about Endgame. You're talking about Captain Marvel. Sorry.
Yeah, Captain Marvel had, it's from the cat vomit thing.
Oh, yeah. They show her coming in, and we lost Kate.
That's all right.
No, she's just hopping off and back on. Just to
don't worry, just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, she Thor sees her, and they throw the like, who are you or whatever. Is that what she's talking about?
Yeah. What was the Captain Marvel end scene, Esty?
Yeah, she walks in the room and they don't know. There was where she says, "Where's Fury?" I guess they mostly included it, but that bit stood out to me that they didn't include it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where she actually flies into the room, like they kind of just skipped over that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they didn't have that. I forgot all about that. That was fake.
I don't know what we're talking about.
All right, so there's now
they might have cut it.
They
did that with Infinity War and they faked out.
I love that.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
That was great. And that, you know what's funny is now that you reminded me.
Oh,
when I saw
yeah.
when I saw Captain Marvel, I was really mad that they had that scene. I was like, dude, they just revealed how Captain Marvel shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lie.
But they didn't.
That's great.
Oh,
well, I guess
they're good about deception and misdirection, man. Like, I got to give it to them for that.
Yeah.
They're awesome at that.
Yeah.
Like that ad like that ad. I had no idea Thor was like fat dad bod.
That was good. I think no one saw that one coming. I love how all the women that are like, oh, I can't wait to see Thor without his shirt on. They're like, fuck. And he didn't change. Like, there was no training montage where he got fit.
Right.
It was just like straight on.
Magic.
Fat Thor to the end.
Yeah, he was just like, nah, this is me now. This is
I mean, it wouldn't change that fast anyway. Lightning only does so much. But
he was like, yeah.
You can burn calories, maybe. I don't know.
He's like,
although, did you notice how in the scene where they're about to battle Thanos directly at the very end, he summons lightning and it braids his beard?
Yeah.
I was going to ask that too. I'm like, wait, is that one of his powers? Like, he can braid beards? Like, I was like, okay. Like, if that's the case, why couldn't he get skinny? You know?
So
it was so funny. They did the thing. It summoned his outfit and braided
beard.
Yeah,
half pony.
That's magic. That's magic. It's
right,
inexplicable.
but he still didn't have a 6-pack abs. I think he's like, I'm happy with the belly. I'm just gonna keep it.
Right. He's like, my mom loves me anyway, you guys. He's like, I don't need
your approval.
Also, some people like me and Steve have we can cosplay now accurately.
Right, exactly. I finally have a hero that represents me. You know, it's like, this is awesome.
Very happy about that. Very happy about the fat
Maggie, what'd you think about Fat Thor?
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, this I still lost sound again. But yeah, I thought it was perfect. Like, it was just like, okay, like, all right, this is it. Like, this is exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Like, the whole movie, I literally started crying, like, Boney Tony shows up and I just started crying immediately. Like, it was just like
I was telling Sean when he first sees Cassie, like, he's looking for her on the whatever those things are, those monuments with all the dead people.
Yeah.
And he sees her like I started crying. An actual tear rolled down my face because I just thought of Brooklyn, my daughter, and I'm just like, oh my God, what if I lost 5 years of her life,
Right.
Like it's crazy when you have kids. Like all this shit is like, wait, no, I didn't feel like that before, but now all this stuff hits you hard, especially with like Hawkeye's family in the very beginning. You're like, you're gonna put me through that again, you asshole.
I thought that was great with Hawkeye's family, and what you guys probably don't know is that Hawkeye, like he as jokingly he calls his daughter Hawkeye, right? There's a dog now instead of my face, but that's fine. Sam, you just we're on video.
You told me not to put
anyway.
Like
but anyway, so in the comics, there's 2 Hawkeyes now, and there has been for a while. One of them, her name is like Kate Bishop or something. But there's been a female Hawkeye. It's not his daughter, and they've worked together. So I'm guessing they're setting up for her to be Hawkeye, is my guess. In the
okay
universe.
What, his kid?
Yeah.
So is he Ronin too or something? Like what is that?
Look at all.
Is that when he goes bad? He's called Ronin.
We have all the SDs.
Yeah,
there we go.
Ronin is something that happened in the comics too. Like when he lost his shit. I don't know what happened. I didn't read that, but yeah, Ronin was a character from the comics. I mean, it literally means like masterless samurai or something. And so when he went ape shit after his family died, he started calling himself Ronin. They don't really address his name in the movie, but
yeah, I saw when I was reading articles, I saw that name, and I figured it was associated with him because it was Hawkeye / Ronin. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the costume is pretty much straight out of the comics too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm guessing his daughter is going to be the next Hawkeye, though. I think
that's why they were setting that up.
Yeah, I think that's what they were implying there.
Well, they were clearly setting up the next phase in general.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they were like, here, Sam, you're Captain America, and here's,
Dude, let's talk about going after Thanos immediately, though, about subverting expectations. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting knock his arm off. But everybody was screaming in Infinity War, cut his arm off, and Thor's like, I'm gonna cut your motherfucking arm off.
And then
off with your arm, off with your head, and I was just like, "What's happening now?"
He's like in 12 seconds, he went from Thanos to the guy in Monty Python. Like, I'm all right. It's okay. Merely a flesh wound. It's like, wow. Like, I totally did not see any of that coming that early in the movie. I was like, well, where do we go from here?
Okay.
Well, the most surprising thing, considering how fucking pissed Thor was. He was so pissed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of surprised. I was like, oh, well, he's dead. I guess he's useless anyway. I'm sure Thor feels better.
Yeah.
But he did it. That was the thing. Thor was riddled with like, what now? Thor was like, that didn't ease my pain. He thought it would. He thought it would. Ease his pain, and it didn't. And then everybody had to actually move on and with their lives. That was great. I thought.
Yeah, the 5-year gap. The 5-year gap thing, like.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Hey, can we talk about like if there wasn't that stray mouse in the van, like none of this would have happened?
Master Splinter. It's in the Marvel universe now.
I know, right? Like, is that what freaking Doctor Strange saw? He's like, okay, there's the one shot. It was the rat.
Yeah.
Hey, SD, do you have headphones? We can barely hear you. Like, we can hear you, but only barely. I don't know if you have a microphone or something.
Hold, please.
Hold for SD. Yeah, I leaned over to Maggie or Mason. I was like, Master Splinter saves the day.
That was for Mason, because you didn't say that to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like, dude, Master Splinter, man.
I just spent all my time crying, so you didn't say that to me.
Yeah,
Maggie just straight up bawling the whole time. It's like the seat soaked.
Let's talk about the fact that Maggie looked up spoilers, right? I came home after seeing it the first night.
I cannot believe that, first off. I mean, like, come on. This is
you don't know me very well if you can't believe it.
No, I know you, but I mean, I thought maybe you might just for this one.
No.
And here's the kicker.
Absolutely.
She regrets it because having spoilers made it worse because she anticipated what was going to happen. So
yeah, so the whole time she's like anxiety tripled because she's like, when is it going to happen?
Right,
so,
you know,
anxiety tripled. Spent the whole time crying.
Yeah.
Spent the whole damn movie crying, and then
we have you, Esty. We can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
I'm good. So
now you can hear me crunching.
So I spent the whole movie crying because it opens on, Bony Tony, and I'm like, well, and I knew he wasn't going to die then, but I was still like, oh, this is so much worse.
So I knew nothing, and for half a second I was like, they're not killing him off in the first 5 minutes. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. Like, they really threw, like, for people who had no fucking clue and had no faith in Marvel, they would have thought that was it.
Right.
Like, that was
I knew we'd get our reunion because I've been talking about the fact that we'd get the Cap and Tony reunion because that was just essential. Yeah. There's no reason.
Yeah, and there was still animosity between them. Like, I thought when they first met and they got back together, it was like everything was going to be cool. It was worse, He's like, "Fuck you! I tried to save everyone."
Right.
I thought that was intense.
And he's like, "So did I."
Yeah.
I tried. So did I. Well, you ditched me before.
And he was like, "I needed you." And I was like, "Oh, it's so sad. It's gonna be dead soon." Nice.
Maggie ruined herself and then made it worse because I gotta say, I cried way more the second time than the first time because I was anticipating certain things. Certain things had more impact the second time, like the Black Widow.
Oh yeah.
I didn't react when I first saw Black Widow go in the first time I watched it.
So I looked it up and I knew Black Widow was going to die, and the way that the spoiler was worded is Black Widow died to save Clint's family or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay. Well, then they say where they're going to go and they're going to get the Soul Stone, and I was like, oh no.
That was good too. I like that a lot. I thought really for sure Hawkeye was going. I was like, they
scene where they're just fighting the whole way down.
So funny. But see, I kind of had a feeling, like, looking at them when they started, I was like, they're gonna fight it out. This is gonna be a problem. And just the second that Natasha earlier was like, I didn't have a family. This is it. I was like, sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, like, truly out of the two of them, it makes more sense for her to go. But
right.
And she's like, why? Because the red guy knew your dad, and she's like, well, I didn't. And I'm like, oh,
but that was clever because they still have her solo movie coming up. So that's like a little bit of a like, here's a bone. Here you go.
Right.
Like, I knew she had a movie coming out, so I didn't know how they were going to do it. Like, is she coming back, or is it a prequel, or what?
No, it'll be a prequel because she's got that whole past life as an assassin. Right. In the comics, she was a double agent for a long time, and she was working in Russia. So it could be, about how she became an American agent or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that they can touch on.
I got red in my ledger.
Yes,
and I'm sure they'll bring in Clint and how he saved her. And if we don't get Budapest, I'm gonna punch.
There's got to be.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, tell me about this Budapest. They keep talking about it. I was like, I want to know.
You keep referencing it. You keep referencing it. Give it to us already. Come on. That's like saying, oh, I have a story. Oh, never mind.
Right.
So
is that a comics thing? Is that in the comics? That Budapest?
No.
Okay. So that was a movie original.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they mentioned stuff like that. I don't read every comic. I know I'm the comic book guy, but I don't read all the comics.
I read 6.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, well, no, I didn't read the 1962 issue of Iron Man. Actually, I wasn't there for that. Didn't read it.
Yeah, like all my friends are like, oh, tell me what happened in the comics. I'm like, I've read 4 or 5 comics. I have no idea. I like movies. I have another. I just really like the Avengers movies. I've read 4 comics. Like Maggie's just barely got me beat by comic, or not beat.
Yeah,
you barely got Maggie beat.
Yeah, you've barely got me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Gotta admit, I've really only read like Archie comics. And then I bought a Spider-Gwen comic living here, funny enough, but I didn't finish it.
Which one?
Like 11 pages in, I was like, done.
And done.
I don't even know why. I started it and then life again, and I don't know. I was busy that day and then forgot about it and forgot where I left off and then just left it on the shelf.
Comics are about
plan on reading it.
Read. So about 3 minutes in, she got bored or confused because
she got busy.
Probably comics is if you just pick up a random issue, you don't know what's going on, so you're just kind of
right
to everything.
Yeah.
Here, let's see if I can find it.
I gotta say, reading the comics on the iPad is amazing, because they have that guided tour, like you just click a button and it goes to the next frame. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
Is it in this room or is it in the other room? It might be in the other room. Here's a short tour of my apartment and my bomb shelter door.
I can't believe we haven't lost connection with her moving around.
She got her iPad.
Oh, there she goes. Oh, yeah. She's in a closet.
Well, still here, I think.
Yeah, she also lives in Israel, so
yeah, that's a long way for a signal.
And her room is technically the bomb shelter of the apartment.
So is that the furthest reach? Couple goals, Israel.
Probably.
We have some.
We had a fan base in Africa.
I haven't.
I have no
idea where it is.
You don't have
wasn't there a guy in Ireland or something?
Yes.
Our dedicated Irish fan.
Now I'm annoyed. Now I'm annoyed. I don't know where it is. That's my problem. So basically what just happened is I live in the bomb shelter room and I went across the apartment to my work room, which doesn't get good Wi-Fi, even though we have a booster. I love this country.
What the country?
Remind me why I still live here?
Like,
are you fucking? It was right here.
No, look, she found it. Oh, yeah. See,
nailed it. Oh, nice, very nice.
Look who found it.
So I think I'm like 2 pages in. Not even.
Sorry.
There's still a bookmark. Oh no, maybe. Wait, no, I got halfway.
Oh, it's a trade paperback.
It's a trade paperback.
I thought you had like one issue.
Yeah.
I thought you had like a single issue of a
she
comic.
has an actual trade paperback.
Oh, well, then halfway through, that's pretty good then.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you got like 4 pages in, and we're like, this is too much.
It's like three panels in. She's like, I don't like the artwork.
Come on, I grew up reading like the fucking Harry Potter books, and like I read Archie comics like nobody's business. Like I can get through a regular comic. This is like a weird paperback thing. I don't know. I wandered into a comic book store while I was here, and it might have been the pop figures that enticed me. And then I was like, oh, Spider-Gwen, this is pretty. And then I got halfway through, clearly.
Hey, well,
I'm going to have to read it again.
Topic, but did you see the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you got to watch that.
Spider-Gwen.
I know.
Spider-Gwen's in it.
I know. I know. If you have a good stream, send it to me.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was good.
I know. I need to see it.
Back to Endgame. How about?
Yes, sorry.
Captain America elevator scene revisiting.
Yeah, that was great.
That is America's ass.
that is
America.
Yeah, I was anticipating. I was like, how are they going to do this elevator scene again? Because it was amazing the first time, and it ended with him kicking his shield up to him. Like, you can't beat that, but you can, because all you have to do is say, Hail Hydra.
Like that was a big moment for me because of a storyline from like 2 years ago where Captain America was a Hydra agent and he was like the head of Hydra. So that was a big deal.
Esty has been studying for this conversation.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. So that I remember hearing, and I remember how angry the internet was, and I just ignored it because I thought it was bullshit. But when he said that, I went, oh! Like,
yeah.
I literally almost yelled in the back of the theater, I understood that reference. Like, oh man, it was good. I was like, are they gonna do? I honestly had a flashback. I was like, does anybody want to get off? I'm like, what? They're not really. And then he was like, Hail Hydra. And I'm like,
Yeah, that was burning my expectations because I thought we were going to get a kick-ass fight, which I would have been on board with. I'd been fine with that too. And he did the smart thing. He just said, "Hail Hydra," took it, and took off. And I was like, "Dude!" And then that leads me to Loki is alive and kicking in the Marvel.
Yeah. He's just out. He's like nobody knows where he's at. Like, oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I watched it, and when it finished, I was like, wait a minute. So then everything is different. Their entire history is different, and Loki's alive, which means he's going to come back. But also, don't they have a TV show that they're going to do?
Yes, he's getting his own show
with that whole that Disney app or whatever.
Yeah, but he has the Tesseract. But and as my son explained to me, the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline is linear. It is not radial. So whatever's going on with Loki, he can't alter the past. So there's still just one Loki somewhere sitting on Tesseract. Right? Sitting on the Space Stone. So
where is he? And obviously he waited because he just got out of a huge fight over it and he almost lost it. He's like, well, shit, I'm a hide in like the Jotunheim realm. Like, get me the hell out of here.
Go wherever he wants. And he, now he has that Space Stone though, so he can literally go wherever he wants.
Yeah.
And I think that sets up his theories nicely though. I think he's done in the Marvel universe. I'm going to predict.
For sure.
I'm going to predict. Yeah. He's going to be a part of that, but I think he'll have his own little fun adventures. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong, but I think that's just
not really. Yeah. You're usually right.
How not wrong you were about the ending.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Baby.
All right.
Yeah, everybody thought he was dead, man. Everybody. I got the Entertainment Weekly, and it's like him on the cover. And I'm like, fuck. Plus, Sean was saying they're releasing all the HD DVDs and stuff right before the premiere of this movie, and you're like, oh, Captain's gonna bite it. But he did it, and he fucking grabbed Mjolnir and used it like a pro, dude. He used that.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Both times I almost yelled. So the first time I saw it, I was in the very back row of the theater with literally one other guy in the row with me, and I just went like
I clapped,
and then I was very close. I
don't do that often.
I didn't want to annoy the row of children who had already annoyed me. Because side note, they were like 13 maybe, and so there was like 6 of them, and one of the kids in the middle was like, Dad, tissue, Dad. I'm like, oh. So I yelled at him, and then he kept doing it, and then at some point he got up and went across. I'm like, you're a dick. Right. Anyway, you're a dick. You child are. And then the dad was like, I thought Infinity War was better. I'm like, no. But anyway,
when he brought down lightning, I was like, oh man, right into Thanos' chest. I was like,
oh, whoo. It was so perfect. It was so perfect. And then Thor was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
The
theory, this was the theory I read a while ago after Age of Ultron. The reason he couldn't pick up the hammer is because he was hiding the secret of he knew that Bucky killed Tony's parents because that was on his conscience. He knew about it, but because that's out in the open now he's worthy. And I think I agree with that theory now. Like, it was a theory I read years ago, and it makes sense because like that. And they never.
Yeah, I like that theory. I like that theory.
Right. I like it too. I'm going with it because him and Tony are finally, the air is clear, and worthy of Mjolnir now. Isn't that great? A great idea. I think I believe it. I'm gonna go with that.
So good. That's so good.
That was cinema gold. That moment. Dude, it's like in Ragnarok when Thor had it and they're playing Zeppelin in the background. Like it's shit like that. Moments like that. You don't have that in DC. Like DC, like what the fuck are they doing, man? Like some of my favorite heroes are in DC and they just put out piles of shit every fucking year. It's like, get your shit together. Grab this backpack. Get your shit.
I don't watch the DC movies except for Wonder Woman. I watched Wonder Woman. I think that was it. The rest of them I tried, and I fell asleep during Justice League. Remember I told you that, Maggie, on the plane?
Yeah.
I tried really hard. I had to keep rewinding. I kept falling asleep. It was like a 12-hour flight. Couldn't do it.
Like when you Esty, did you see Aquaman? Did you see Aquaman?
No.
Oh God.
Good.
It's
especially
like
after how much Sean hated it, I don't think I can. Because I think that I'm going to agree.
MacBook, like, does anybody know?
I can tell you how it goes. Picture Endgame, and then think the complete opposite end of the spectrum. That's Aquaman. That's where Aquaman lays.
So worse than the original Incredible Hulk. So worse than Hulk, because Hulk was not a good movie. I like the story, but the movie itself I did not enjoy. Okay.
Are we talking about Hulk or the MCU Hulk?
Talking about
the
right?
Yes. Okay. I liked him. I liked the story. I like where they took it, but the movie itself. Okay, when I watched all the movies for the first time, I had a friend take me to see Avengers, and then that weekend I literally. What was homework? I was in college. Who cares?
Right.
I binged all of the movies until Avengers and then went and saw it again.
Nice.
Hulk was the only one where I was like, I don't have to pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Don't tell Sean that. He's probably going to delete you from this call. I totally agree. I'm like, Hulk was that one was the only one in there. I was like, eh.
Yeah.
Everybody gives Thor the Dark World shit, but I like that better than Hulk.
Yeah, I think the Thor movies are, to me, the first two Thor movies are worse than Hulk, but that's because I don't care about Thor. It's not that like, and if I'm being objective, the Hulk movie is very slow, but to me, the action scenes make up for it because I just love seeing Hulk, and they are incredibly slow. Like, they're some of the slowest Marvel movies. They don't have the and they don't have the humor that the other ones do to kind of keep the pace going. But then when I put on my Hulk fan cap, fuck all you guys.
This one did have the humor. I was shocked. I was like, there's way more comedy in this one than I thought it was gonna. Because I thought it was gonna be all sad and depressing.
Yeah.
No, they can't, because Marvel knows too well what works. Like the number of times I've listened to Couple Goals and heard the Marvel, like the formula, the Marvel formula from you guys, like it's so true,
right?
Because they know what works, they know where to add it in. Even if humor falls flat, it's not all that flat. Like, it always works. It always is timed well to break the tension. And any movies that don't have that aren't as good. Like, they just don't end up as good because they're too dark and they're too intense and they're too whatever. The movies that have the humor do so much better because it works. They really need it, and it's always the right characters. It's always
that's the thing. The humor works because the characters we actually care about too, which is good.
It's the right character to deliver it. Like, if someone else had, like, Tony has some of the most perfect sass. He is my favorite. I will punch you if you say whatever.
Disagree.
So the way you feel about Hulk, I feel about Tony. So
I don't want to make out,
but the way. I don't either. I would like stare at him working. Like, that's how I would be. Like, that's me. So, like, just the way that he's like, he lifts up the shield. This is yours. Like, don't say that too loud. I didn't bring one for everyone. Like, his little bits of humor, they're natural. And it adds to every scene, and it's believable in every little bit.
Well, that's Robert Downey Jr. though. That's his delivery.
That's true.
And it's also John Favreau. They pretty much created that version of Tony Stark.
Right.
And the Tony Stark I used to read, which I only read Iron Man for a short time back in the day, but he was, I mean, he had a few moments. I mean, he wasn't nearly as funny or as down to earth as this Iron Man is. He was always more the arrogant side. This one,
hey, Rob's in. Rob just joined. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm driving. I need to find a spot to pull over.
Safe at all.
He's Rob calling while he's driving. Rob did a video call while he's driving.
The humor is just so natural, and it, like, just Tony Stark's delivery. He's so sardonic. I love that about him.
I can
right.
And dude, that's the other thing about this movie and just all the movies is they got Captain America right throughout all the movies. They got Tony Stark and made him better than the comics, in my opinion. They made all the characters.
Definitely.
They pulled the right stuff. They understood the characters, which kind of brings me back to the moment when Cap gets Mjolnir. And dude, today when I saw it, the theater went nuts, and it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Great moment.
Like and it was great. And and that happened like 2 or 3 times in that fight where people just spontaneously lost their shit. And I loved it. And it made me also think of the fact that the last 2 major Star Wars movies have no moments like that. There are no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. That's what I thought of immediately. I was like, why isn't the Russo brothers doing Star Wars, you know? It's like, please.
Bring the Russos in to do episode 7. Have them start there. We're going to reboot now. Just reboot the franchise now.
Yeah.
Don't even get to episode 9. I mean, that's obviously not going to happen. But yeah, there's literally like probably 3 moments today when we were at the theater where the entire theater just lost their shit, and it was appropriate.
And then when Tony died, there was audible sobbing.
Yes, you can hear people crying. It was
audible sobbing, not just me. Like other people in the theater sobbing.
But how great! Yeah. Oh, he went out saying, "I am Iron Man" to Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect.
That's why it made
that was a great ending,
by the way, because there's so many references to the original Iron Man. So I was trying to.
Okay. No. Okay. All right, Chatty Cathy, give me a second.
Maggie's like, "Can I talk?"
Right. I'm gonna let you finish, but so yesterday, so everybody knows I spoiled it, right? I spoiled it for myself. I looked at all these spoilers.
Stupid.
And I actively regret the fact that I did this.
Yeah.
But so he makes me watch Iron Man yesterday, and I just start crying when we're watching Iron Man because I know.
Because you know.
Because I know Tony Stark's gonna die, so I'm just like, I want to watch it. Iron Man, like the first Iron Man from like 2008, and I'm crying. And he's like, "Are you being serious?" I'm dead serious, just crying. Just crying my eyes out.
There's more to this. I was manipulating her because I'm a shitty person, and I was angry with her for looking up spoilers. I felt betrayed, right? I felt betrayed.
I get it.
Yeah. You're like,
I pointed out certain scenes in the movie that would be referenced in Endgame.
Couple goals.
So that she would feel it even harder when she watched Endgame today because it would be fresh in her mind.
He's such a dick.
Yes, I am a dick. I'm an asshole. Don't look up spoilers. Do. Shame on you. It's your fault.
Did you think Maggie would go for the spoilers?
No, I thought
on this one
written that before, but she's never actually done it.
Yeah, I thought this one you would have laid off. That's what I
had to. Sean wasn't even at the movies yet. And I
had still cried, Maggie, right? You still cried.
You cried way worse.
Right? I cried way worse. Like,
you know it was coming, you still cried.
Dude, I started crying. I started crying like right when they showed Tony starting to record at the very beginning, starting to record for Pepper. I was like, this is so sad. I was literally like, sad, and I had a the whole on my face, so I was just crying for most of them.
And I like Robbie, you're kind of late, but seeing it a second time, I cried way more. I teared up way more than the first time.
Man, that's something. Yeah,
I cried.
Yeah, I cried. Like I said, I cried with when he saw Cassie for the first time. Like a tear actually came down my face. I welled up with just like awesomeness when Cap got Mjolnir and was just, using it like a boss.
I peed my pants.
And then I panicked. I had pure on panic mode when Rocket was under the cement block. And I was like, no, this is not, no, somebody get that shit. Somebody lift that rock off him. Can you hear him? He said he can't breathe. He's like, get that off. So yeah, but anybody that knows me, like Sean and Maggie, know I have an affinity for raccoons. I've always loved raccoons. If Sean would have told me there was a raccoon in comics, I probably would have started reading a long time ago. But yeah, that was a pure on panic mode. I was like, Hulk, get that shit off him now. He cannot breathe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
here's our giant child. If anybody wants to see it.
Do the elevator thing.
I saw him coming up in the
Hey, Logan.
I saw him coming up in the mirror.
Logan's here. He was with us today. Logan's seen it twice now too, and he said next to me, and he would be like, there.
See me look over to you.
Yes.
Say, point to in the movie.
As I would randomly be like, trying to get my breath as I sobbed my way through the movie.
The Captain America fight scene, how awesome was that to see both Caps going at it, man? That was great.
Dude, so many little fan service moments that I just loved. And
yeah,
one of them.
I think the whole middle of the movie was all fan service, man.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah, well, that's why I said like it was kind of just moving on a flat line since the beginning and then the end. Like that's why I was like, I don't know, maybe there was something missing in the middle. But I think the Cap scene was that.
The time heist.
It's a time heist that goes terribly wrong. How is that not exciting? Just because people.
Well, I don't know. Just for me, that's just my opinion. I thought it kind of flatlined, for most of the movie in the middle. That's just.
You saw it at midnight.
Well, that's yeah.
You did see it in the middle of the night.
It was 2 in the morning. I think I actually flatlined at one point. I was like, I'm so tired.
Esty, did you think that? Did you find it boring at any points?
No.
Okay, that's right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
He's like, no.
It just moved. I mean, time heist. Dude.
Okay, so I think the only thing I wasn't a huge fan of was the weirdness of Hulk and Bruce. Like that it felt weird. It felt weird.
Wait, with them combined?
Yeah, it's just something about it was awkward.
Yeah,
that's a reference. It's a comic book reference too, and he was called the Professor. And
I figured,
yeah,
I'm like, it makes sense. It's all, and like you have to give him some development over the last 5 years,
right?
But it felt a little weird, and then it annoyed me that he mispronounced Valkyrie. That annoyed me a lot. I was like, how do you not like? You must have really fucked up for them to keep them in the movie. But like, no, the entire thing, I was like all on my chair, like I couldn't stop. I was enticed. I was enraptured. Like none of it was boring.
Yeah. Like, everything. Like,
I didn't say it was boring. I just thought it was just boring. It was just a slow pace. That I loved everything.
You're insane.
What movie did you see?
Right.
It's just me, man. It's just my opinion. I thought it kind of, it was just kind of.
That's weird.
It's a whole time travel too, where it's just like you see the same thing you've already seen, but something's new, and it's just I don't know. It's just I just thought some parts.
I loved revisiting those scenes and seeing them from different angles, and then
I loved revisiting the scenes that they literally shot outside my work.
Yeah, shut up.
That was super. That was so fucking cool to actually see my work again. Like,
okay, I got a question. Okay, so the timeline for the time travel thing, it was all alternate universes that they were creating, right? They were a multiverse. Every time they went back, there was a multiverse. It was a different branch, right?
Different branch.
Yeah.
Except for Cap at the end, his was a time loop, right? Everything that he did actually already happened. Like he lived his whole life. He was always married to Peggy. That was one was different, correct?
Well, it created like two it created two timelines, and yeah, I guess he did close the loop at the end. But he also closed.
Yeah, that's why they didn't show the picture of them when she was dying. Like she didn't have a picture of him and her on the bedside. You just saw her kid.
Yeah.
So
he was always married to Peggy throughout our timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was there on the bench. That was the timeline that they were all in the whole time.
Yes.
So,
and it's convenient. And it's convenient that it's convenient that she couldn't remember him. She had some sort of Alzheimer's.
He kissed his niece in Civil War, right?
Yeah. It's had that Star Wars moment.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that was also my question.
What'd you say, Esty? I couldn't hear.
So that was also one of my questions. Rob, before you came in, I told them that I had done research and I wrote down all these questions that I have, and I took notes. So one of them is, well, what the hell is with Peggy? Because in at least one movie, they reference like she's like, my husband is one of the guys that Cap saved when he went in, Europe. Like, I wouldn't have met him without that. And she has kids and whatever. And then, do we know which side of the family Agent 13 is her niece?
Name's Carter, so she's definitely related to Peggy. Because that's Sherry Carter.
But that's the thing. She's not related to Cap, so that's not
right. It's not blood.
Weird. It's weird, but it's not disgusting.
It's not. It's not Luke and Leia weird.
I mean, he didn't know.
Yeah. Like, okay, so with that I feel better. But that's the thing that was the original line that they got married? Like, is that from the comics or something? Like, was that always there?
I don't think so.
Sean said that in the comics that she married Bucky.
Yeah. Because you got Winter Soldier is a fairly recent creation. He's been around for 15 years or so, maybe 20 at most. And in comic book time, that's recent. But Bucky was dead for real for probably 40, 50 years in the comics or so. And then they came up with the storyline later. And that's the thing though with comics is they're always rebooting. They're always, Right. So for the longest time, Bucky married what's her face? And also in the comics, Bucky was like a teenager when he was Cap's sidekick. He was like 14. He was like Robin to Batman kind of thing. I'm so glad they changed that because I hate Robin. So
I hate
just farting on you or something.
See, like my wife won't buy into the fact that he was always married to Peggy throughout the timeline. Like she just won't accept that.
But no,
that's what she said.
Well, that's the thing. That's what Sean and I were talking about. That's what you and I were like literally talking about.
Yeah.
Is that he didn't.
I can accept it though.
She didn't name her husband. Like
she never named her husband. Never had a picture of him.
They did a really good job.
Only pictures of the kids out.
Right.
No picture of the husband at any time. No reference to his
they've been planning this for a while. And again, I just want to say, like, people make fun of me when I get mad at movies because they're always like, oh, they didn't consult with you. I guess they should have consulted with you. And I'm like, you're damn fucking right. Because when they do, they make good movies. Even if they don't actually consult with me.
Movie, if they would have fucking talked to you.
Well, this was Sean's desired ending. He's been talking about this for quite some time. And how his ending for Cap was that Cap goes back and look, Esty has Milo. That her desired ending for Cap was that he goes back and ends up with Peggy. Yeah. So that's been
listen. I'm happy to pig and shit over that. Like I could not be happier.
Right?
I'm with you. I'm
just so glad he didn't.
Yeah, I thought
Cap was gonna die when Thanos was chipping away at his shield.
Oh man, I thought that when they did that close up of his teeth and he's gritting to get up after he just got his ass kicked, I thought this is it. This is where Cap dies. I'm so happy. I'm so happy he didn't go out.
Well, when he was laying down and then he picked up the blade and he started walking, I was like, oh man, he's gonna see.
Yeah. I was like, oh god, this is it.
I was bracing myself, dude.
Maggie, and I'm gonna start bawling.
But instead of that, we get I am inevitable, and then we get I am Iron Man, motherfucker. It's over. Lights out. Oh man, and he killed Thanos just like he killed everybody else. I thought that was great, man.
Well, see, I thought
because he could do anything with the glove, right? He can choose how it goes, right? Whatever he wants happens.
Well,
right.
He had one shot.
So I thought that was perfect that he killed off Thanos. Like I was sitting next to some kid, and at the end we started talking, and Sean, don't snap your fingers.
Unless you're going to multiply all the doggies.
That's the only thing that's acceptable. But so he was like, yeah, I don't know, like, why'd he kill him off? He killed off everyone and whatever. I'm like, but that's the point. Like, Thanos needs to feel that complete loss of everything.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. He needed that because without them doing that, he would just be angry and be vengeful and get out of jail and start doing it all, like whatever. He would come back.
So do you think he gleamed a bit of humility at the end, right before he disappeared?
Did you see his face?
Yeah, yeah.
He was just he like spun around and like, and you
it was perfect.
Like, oh no,
no, pure defeat.
Like that
just pure defeat on his face.
The utmost defeat, and that was the only way to get rid of that. That was the only thing that you could do.
You know what I thought? You know what I thought was cool too when he grabbed when he was getting beat down and he grabbed the Power Stone.
Yeah.
And then used that to push him away. I thought that was sweet. And maybe that's why Tony's like, hey, maybe I could just grab these stones, you know?
Yeah.
You know, maybe after seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, either way, he's got the suit on. So I think that he would be okay. I think the issue is when it's skin to skin. Like, I mean, even Thanos was having an issue with the Power Stone. But I really love that because it was that reference back to Cap in Infinity War. So it was a different blonde captain fighting with the glove, and then he punches her in the face, and she just like
stands there.
Oh yeah, you're like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was good. Yeah, hell yeah. She's like, no, that's why he had to use the stone.
Started clapping. When I thought Cap was about to die, he and I was literally I leaned over and I was like, "Where's Captain Marvel?" Like, cause she wasn't there yet. And then Sam came on the earpiece and he's like, Cap, on your left. And I got chills.
Yeah. Oh God. At that moment, I had totally forgotten about everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good this movie is. I was so into the movie, I forgot about everyone, you know? And then they start opening the portals and it's like, holy shit, it's on.
No. And I had it. So like that whole fight scene, I'm like, so where the fuck is everybody? I was like, they're birds.
Oh, Maggie's like, where's the support?
Where the fuck is everybody? I'm like,
I just wait for Captain Marvel to show up. That's all.
Well, Captain Marvel. Okay, so I really like the movie Captain Marvel. I really like the character. All of a sudden, she's like, you know, people other than Earth have issues, and I was like, oh,
yeah, like where was she the whole time? Oh, we got to save other planets. No, come on.
I was so as soon as she had with her little "May I speak to the manager" haircut, I was not having it. I was
that wasn't a great.
I was like, okay, that's how it's gonna be. And then she was gone for that whole time, and that I just couldn't understand. I was like, where is everybody? I was like, Clint.
It takes a minute to collect, you know.
After being dust for 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you explain to everybody, like, hey, I know you've only been gone for 5 seconds in your mind, but the battle for Earth is happening right now. So we need to work for Earth to step through here.
But no, it shouldn't take long to explain that because you disappeared mid-battle for Earth. So it should be
they
like...
weren't even on Earth. Like, that's what I mean. Some of these people weren't even on Earth at the time. They had, like, even Peter Parker wakes up, he's like, where's Tony? And then he's like, dude, you're on a different planet. We got to get back to Earth.
He's like, also, Tony Stark is, like, elderly now, apparently.
I think Spider-Man referenced Doctor Strange doing something for him or something.
Yeah.
He explained. Yeah, he talks about how Doctor Strange explained it to him and stuff. And then you got to remember, they have to explain to all those armies of Wakanda, the armies of Asgard, like they're explaining to all these people. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back from the dead and we're about to go die again. Let's do this.
Right.
And the one Black Panther, I don't remember the main guy, the Black Panther guy's name.
Black Panther?
Yeah, but he has like a name.
T'Challa.
So he had to like go back to Wakanda because I don't know where he was, but he wasn't in Wakanda.
No, he died in Wakanda.
Is that where that big battle was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all in Wakanda.
So he had to like go back there and be like, "Hey guys, let's go get in one of these portals."
And also, I think Wakanda has its shit together, so when something happens, he can say, "Hey, army," and they're like, "Yes, sir." Like that's it. They're all
Flies a lot better.
But the only person that knew what was actually happening when they turned to dust was Spider-Man. He's the only one that could register.
No, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Other than Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And then when they brought everybody back, they obviously had their memories too, you know.
Can we talk about the fact that Wakanda has no fucking army vehicles, even though they're the most advanced fucking country in the world? Where are your tanks?
Hey, Why you need a tank when you got a rhino, man? Come on.
Better than rhinos.
Who had those planes?
Wakanda has planes. They just don't seem to have. They're just all about ground fighting with. Like you think they'd have, tanks or some sort of ground units other than people.
They don't.
I'd be fine
the rest of the world. They don't need that shit. They don't have to go far. They don't need tanks.
But unless you're in a battle for Earth.
Right.
Then a tank would come in handy.
Why didn't you think of that?
Maybe in the next phase or whatever.
Wakanda get some tanks.
Wakanda get some tanks because they're like, we seem to be fighting for Earth a lot.
And maybe some armor for everybody who isn't Black Panther. That's the other thing. Just like Black Panther gets armor, no one else gets armor.
They're like everyone else gets everyone else gets gloves.
What's that, SD?
Shuri's been working on that. Come on.
Shuri needs to work her.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, damn, she needs to lift a weight or something. Damn, some skinny arms.
She's busy running around making bad jokes.
Whatever happened? I thought.
Steve, SD's talking.
I think she's fine.
I know. I stopped.
She's got Wakanda covered.
Yeah, I do like her.
I thought there was going to be something with the Vision and her, like saving Vision or something. Maybe that's in a movie to come. Because she deleted. Remember, she was working on Vision.
He died twice.
Right.
I don't know that he can come back.
Vision died so many
and he
times.
didn't die in the
he's got his own show on the Disney app, so
yeah, but that's like that could be their adventures when they're off on their own, when they're in hiding kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're like
okay, I see that, but they still they showed her working on that, for a reason. Like they had that shot. So I think she figured out something.
Hey, Esty, can you put earbuds in so I can hear you again?
Yeah.
But
yeah, my thing is dying. So, hold on.
In the microphone.
I don't know why my iPad hates. I don't know why technology hates me.
There.
I'll plug this in and then I'll figure out my other headphones. Because I have my Bluetooth ones and they just don't want to hook up.
Gotcha.
Maybe in the Vision Scarlet Witch one.
So
maybe they'll show why
they showed a scene where Bruce was like, there was this. They showed Bruce saying Vision is a combination of Jarvis and Ultron and me and Tony and the Mind Stone. You take out the Mind Stone, it's just one part. So he's still Vision. There's still enough of him there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I still think he's like.
I think that they can bring him back. He's mostly computer. He's mostly a computer.
Yeah,
they're definitely bringing him back. They're bringing him back.
Yeah.
He's mostly a computer.
I think that would be. I mean, obviously anything's possible in a fictitious universe. I just think it would be kind of cheap.
You know what I think's weird?
They didn't get to do that. They didn't get to remove the stone and leave his consciousness behind. They got rushed.
True.
They didn't get to finish the process that would have made it so that was possible.
Well, that's the whole point. That's what we think they didn't get it, but
his body. So that's a bad side.
I don't know.
No, that's a good point though. It's a good point though that they probably didn't finish. And also like Wanda was too upset about they both know.
Let's talk about Wanda.
Scarlet Witch. Good to see her go off. That was awesome.
Oh my god.
That I was like, look, Scarlet Witch
fucking perfect.
One of the most powerful characters in the Marvel fucking universe.
Oh, for sure.
All she's doing is throwing red snowballs most of the time in the movies though. And they need to utilize and they finally got I love that like when she popped up, everybody was excited. And then she, I was like, she's pissed, obviously, with good reason. Then she actually got Thanos by herself to a state of panic.
Yeah.
She was the only one who could get Thanos to a point where he was like, okay, everybody fire. Just fire.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
She's so powerful.
Yeah. Squidward's like,
was gonna rip him apart.
He's like, I don't care.
Fucking do it. This bitch is gonna kill me.
Rain fire. So she's pretty powerful in the comics, right? Like she's super powerful.
She just like destroyed the Marvel universe before. Like,
did she? Okay.
Yeah. storyline from the 90s, like that was crazy. That was all her, man.
Yeah.
So seeing her actually get to be powerful and be the one to put Thanos in a state of panic was really gratifying for me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's talk about girl power. How I wanted to puke in that girl power scene. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, like nobody hates women. Stop saying that. We think women are awesome.
Everybody's on the same team here.
Right.
I know. It's like, do we need that? Don't worry, girl. We got your back. What did they say? I don't even know. It was vomit. I was just vomiting.
Here's my thought.
Here's my thought.
Here's my thought is it was just kind of one of those things where everybody saw Captain Marvel go to the bathroom, so they all went to the bathroom. You know, like one of those
right. They just happened to be all around each other. Right. Oh, okay.
Reinforced.
Hey, let me hold off this giant beast and go 40 yards this way. We have to make this line. We got your back, girl. Or whatever.
It's like, now is not the time.
No, she's not alone. And it threw back to Infinity War.
Yes.
When Scarlet, when the three of them,
the three of them were together,
and helped. It was the throwback, and that's.
And I thought that was a lame throwback.
I don't give a shit if you say everyone loves women. I have to say that was vital. Okay, it goes back to the fact that there's Captain Marvel, because there are little girls that are so excited to have Captain Marvel and dress up and have that hero. It shows that that they stand together. It doesn't matter if it felt kitschy, because they notice someone is in trouble and they run together. First of all, that's the hero thing. Second of all, that's the teammate thing. And third of all, that you need to show how many strong women there are in the Marvel universe, because until the last year or two, there weren't any.
That's
there was
true.
one. There was Scarlet.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm okay with it. I don't care.
I thought it was corny as hell.
I thought
it was forced as fuck, man. Like, I get it, but
forced. It was a little forced, and that was it wasn't perfect. It was needed.
But they acknowledged it, is what you're saying. Yeah.
I think it could have been done a whole lot better. But
of course it could.
I'm
not saying it was done right.
Like
but
the amount of women.
I just can't.
But there's been the amount of women. Like,
right.
You don't know who.
What, these characters have been here forever. Like
a movie when you do that.
Want to talk about, let's talk about the fact that Black Widow didn't have a funeral. It's like we just forgot.
I didn't.
Well, how are you gonna get her? Once she dies, he's transported away. He can't get back there.
Had a little picture of her somewhere.
Maybe like
we all forgot about Black Widow at the end of that movie. Let's be honest. We're like, oh yeah, he's dead.
Rob, do you have earbuds?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm literally parked in front of a park. Like,
we can barely hear you.
A mile from where I was just working, so I could do this.
But that's the thing. They've had these powerful women in the Marvel universe. It takes me out of the battle when all of a sudden every single person of the same gender, male or like, if there's a photo op for dudes all of a sudden, or they're all just like, I'm here. It was just like,
it's just so awkward, man. It's like
power moment right now. We kind of need unity. We need
it's like the whole movie stopped just for them to push that agenda, you know? Like, it's like nobody needed that, is what I'm saying. Well, from what Essie's saying, you know, I can see young girls. I can see really young girls, you know, like, this is awesome. I get that. But
being father of a girl.
It wasn't perfect, but it was necessary. It was so necessary, because the number of stories that, like, I saw something recently from Brie Larson that she was like, there's a little girl dressed up as me and she comes to hug me. Like, you need that, because you've already had the little boys who see Iron Man and think that they're blasting. You've seen the little kid who spots Cap in the museum and is told to keep a secret. You need those little girls. You don't have enough of them. It doesn't, like, it was a little bit pandery, but at the same time, like, they meant well by it, and they didn't know how to do it better.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
I was about to be like, if you didn't know how to do it better, you just asked me, because Sean's
like, I could have rewrote that shit right in.
They need to talk to Sean. I'm not saying that that's not the case, but it was so necessary. The way that the universe, the Marvel universe is now, it is so important that they do that, because they're actually showing in one place how many strong women there are in that universe when there used to be just Scarlet.
My issue is just it just rings false to me again as a comic book reader. Carol Danvers is not the first female Captain Marvel. It was actually a black woman.
No, she's not.
And that's to me like, so they literally passed over giving it to a black woman to give it to Brie Larson. So that's like I'm not buying into their agenda because they're not even doing it. They could have had their first.
They're not doing it right. They have issues.
What's that?
Yeah. Listen, they're not perfect. Marvel has issues. There's always whitewashing. There's always give it to the white person over the black person. That happens way too often.
Yes.
But aside from that.
And aside from the fact that Walt Disney was who he was.
So you
found He was
a notorious racist.
It is Disney.
They still have women of color, not enough, but they have women of color, and they highlighted that. They still passed over a woman of color to have it be Brie Larson. Fine. But they took a very specific visual of Carol and they made it relevant. And like I was telling, listen, I don't know if you saw the Snap group, Maggie, but I was telling Madeline, like, Marvel grounds their movies in something close to reality. So they had to somehow use Captain Marvel like as one of their first solo lady movies. Like they had to somehow make it work because the world is a shitty place. But they may have passed over a woman of color, which I didn't know. Thank you for that. But they still showed all of the other women of color that are there.
Yeah. But see, it's a false agenda. Literally, they had Halle Berry play Catwoman in a standalone movie 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's a false thing that they're creating. It's like there's been female superheroes. There's an Elektra movie.
People have a very short memory.
So
have a very short memory.
Yes, that's my thing.
And
like,
because this universe has only existed since for the last 10 or so years, 12, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they have to bring it up again because this is its own thing. Like even like we know enough that DC and Marvel are their own thing. Like you have to
not everybody
still show that it still matters.
Not everybody.
Madeline's like, where's Wonder Woman? I'm glad she didn't die in Infinity War.
When you were in the movie, she was asking me dumb questions, and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not angry. I'm just too tired. I can't do this. Like Maggie will agree with me. She's still in the movie. She has another hour. Like, just keep going. Just shut up. Don't judge a movie by its first 30 minutes. Don't judge a universe by its first 2 movies. Like, shut up and keep watching.
Aquaman. You can judge Aquaman at any point in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Marvel. I'm talking about Marvel.
Yeah. John is not going to see it. He's not going to see it, man. Well,
Steve can't talk politics.
The only way he's going to see it is if somebody watches with him.
Yes.
But I don't want to sit down and watch it again. So like it's not going to happen.
To put themselves through that.
Yeah. If I watch it, it will be because I'm sick of hearing how terrible it is and I want to see it for myself and I will not be paying for it.
Oh, it's bad.
Watch the first 20 minutes and then just get back to me.
All right, I don't want to talk. Let's not talk about Aquaman anymore. It's taking us way too much time already.
Yeah, no,
how about Tony Stark seeing Howard Stark and reconciling, and that was great. That was a great scene.
Amazing. That was absolutely amazing.
And I think that's what he needed. I think that's what he needed to
100%.
to find peace at the end too.
100%.
That scene hit me pretty hard. So it was nice, Thor and his mom, I think that was all essential. And I mean, it was just dialogue, but man, it
was important.
And I think I was saying this to you or Steve, I always forget, but I we've had 22 movies in this universe, and that's like length of a TV season, 22 episodes, except we have 22 movies.
How do you not know who we are?
You guys look exactly the same to me. I got face blindness. We know
he doesn't know what podcast he's on anymore.
He's got too many. He says stuff over multiple times. He's got too many formats going right now.
The scene Also with Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan and the cheese.
Oh yeah,
that really hit me.
All right, fuck off with that. I don't want to hear about it.
Because
explain to the listeners. Yeah, because I didn't know that until.
Shut up.
Hey Maggie, I love you 3000.
Oh.
I love you 3000.
But no, because apparently Burger King cheeseburger played a big part in getting Tony Stark to stop.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
And
yes. Okay, I was reading that yesterday because that's what I literally read an article about this when I was researching last night. So what happened was when Downey had a car full of drugs and he went to go get a burger from Burger King and he had such a shitty meal that he decided to turn his life around and he threw all the drugs into the ocean. So and that was when he turned everything around.
And
so
that explains Aquaman.
In the first Iron Man. But they included that he asked them to include that on purpose in the first movie when he gets back from Afghanistan to kind of reference that, how much it made a difference and how it was him turning everything around.
Yes.
So the fact that his daughter loves cheeseburgers too.
And then
that was good.
Jon Favreau, who was there from the beginning with Robert Downey Jr. So that was a big moment for me.
Yeah.
And, that just the way it kind of brought everything back around. And I remember SD, are you crying? Do we make SD cry?
No.
No, but I am. Assholes.
But that was a big moment for me though, because I was like, wow,
that was a huge moment.
Favreau, because both of them were so instrumental in creating the Tony Stark character and the
and
everything.
For sure. It was
and most of the people watching that didn't even know. I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for Sean.
No idea.
Yeah. So it's just it's just a testament to how good these writers and directors are, man. It's just this is why these are so good, because it's the people behind it, Yeah,
100%. And that's what I was again explaining to Madeline, that the whole point of all of these movies is that they're close enough to reality that they're relatable, and that's why their good characters are so good, because they're relatable and they're personal and they're personable and they feel real, even though they're in a crazy unrealistic situation.
A lot because they're flawed. They make mistakes. They're not perfect.
Right.
They
Exactly.
Screw up a lot of things. I just want to say too, I shed happy tears because I was there was a lot of triumphant moments that just made me happy to see the culmination of this universe, to see all these characters that I grew up with, that I loved when I was a kid, and to see them, brought to this level was just amazing for me. I haven't read all the comic books. I'm not a fan of all the characters, but specifically like Captain America and Iron Man, just the way they made that whole relationship and everything. Those are the two main ones. I love seeing Hulk just be there. I love the fact that I even care about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I never even cared about them before. I love it. Watching it the second time, watching Rocket Raccoon just interact on Earth, but not as a warrior, but just as an inhabitant, was really cute and funny to me. Just having him just.
I love that. I love the haircut joke, man.
Yeah,
he's like, "Where are you going to get another haircut?" Rocket is definitely my favorite.
That was good. That was good.
Weird raccoon loving mother.
I'm sorry. Please enjoy Milo sitting on my pillow, looking out the window on the 6th floor.
It was good to see. What's the guy? Tony's friend. I can't think of his name.
Happy Hogan.
Rhodey.
What?
Happy Hogan.
Rhodey or Happy?
Oh, no. The Hawk. Falcon. It's good to see him get the baton at the end. That was nice.
That was Cap's friend. I thought you said
Cap's friend.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm sorry, Cap.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so I am not a movie crier. I wanted to tell you this. I don't cry in movies. It takes a lot for me to cry. The movies that I remember crying during are the weirdest. The Amazing Spider-Man, where James Franco died, and Click when Adam Sandler died. Okay, Click reminded me of my mother.
Adam Sandler died.
Weirdly personal.
Hang on, what was that?
Wait, what movie when Adam Sandler died? Oh no!
Wait, SD, come back.
Oh no!
She's gone.
All right, okay, she's back. She's back. All right.
Oh no! Okay, you're back.
Click.
She said Click.
Click. Oh, okay, I didn't see Click.
Oh my god, I didn't see that because I was.
Spoiler alert, dude.
Spoiler alert.
I'm going to watch that in the next 20 years.
That's the one where he gets
It's fine.
life away.
Listen, I don't remember why. I think I saw it with my mom and my sister, and we all were sobbing because it reminded us too much of my.
Damn it!
Oh,
I lost her. It reminded her of what?
Crying movies.
Back again.
My
You're back.
grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
My mom's dad. So, like, the three of us were sitting there just, like, at the same moment.
Big
So,
group cry.
but that's my point. I don't cry in movies. It takes.
Steve.
In particular.
I am literally on an iPhone in the park, and Esty is at her home
In Israel. She's in Israel.
Internet.
I live in a bomb
She's in
shelter.
Israel.
She's in a bomb shelter in Israel.
worst reception ever.
It was
I'm
fine.
literally
Like worst place to go.
It was fine before. Is it better now? Maybe the window broke.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
How about where you place the metal in relation to your
Probably. Listen, the bomb shelter is isolated. There's not a lot of good Wi-Fi. It's really fucked up.
we understand.
I closed the door so my didn't hear me because I don't want to deal with it.
So what's your guys' favorite moment from all the movies? Do you have a favorite moment from one of them?
What? Esty was telling us a story about crying.
Like,
Steve, what the hell's wrong
I
with
try.
you?
It's called levity. I'm trying to segue.
So my point is, I don't. Okay, short version. I don't cry. It takes something very specific. So the fact that in this movie, in both times seeing this movie, I cried, and I cried twice, and the second time I cried more is ridiculous.
Now, when you say you cried though, multiple times or just at one point? Oh, just like.
Okay, so
the whole 3 hours.
I got a little teary a few points, and then in the second time seeing it, when Tony went to go fight Thanos to get the stones, that's what started to break me. So I went just like full out tears streaming, trying not to like go in the middle of the theater. Like I really almost ugly cried out loud in the middle of the theater next to a stranger. It was very close.
See, I get teary eyed. I don't like.
So that's how I am too. That's what I'm saying. That it made I sobbed, and then when Cap came back and like just the whole scene with Cap and going back, I started crying again, and then when Bucky goes Sam like that was done killed me, and I just sat there crying for the rest of the movie, and then I sat there.
Aquaman will make you cry too, just for different reasons.
This was really good.
I love in Age of Ultron when Hawkeye's just like, dude, I'm just a guy with arrows, you know.
Right.
And he's trying to do that pep talk for Wanda. Yeah, I have a bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense, you know. I'm like, this is awesome, man. Like, dude, no powers, laid it on the line.
So perfect. It's so perfect.
Well, to your point about, again, I think about this too. The difference between the DC and the Marvel movies is DC is definitely, especially in the more recent ones, it's a different version. I mean, well, they're all different our reality, but it just feels off in the DC movies. The humor feels forced and everything. But with the way Marvel, like the way Black Widow is like, I get emails from a raccoon now. You know what I mean? They just kind of put this stuff
right.
That is like that's what somebody would say too. You know what I mean?
Right.
How
They wouldn't say permission to come aboard.
Permission to come aboard.
Right. Like how great was that?
Everybody sandwich. Like just those little bits.
Right. Yeah.
Are so perfect.
Yeah, he just I'm hungry. Give me I'll do just they add that I guess maybe it's because they come from sitcoms. You know, they come from Community and Arrested Development, the Russo brothers.
Yeah, the Russo brothers are like A plot.
Oh yeah, the scene with them on the couch with the Korg and what's his nuts.
Oh yeah,
sitting on the couch playing video games. Like that was great.
Yeah,
that was really funny.
The
kid is back. Thor, the kid is back.
Right. He's like, thank you, Thor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they had so much more humor in this movie. They could have kept it so dark, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, they could have really had a high body count, and they didn't.
Yeah, but
they did it right.
I mean, they did kind of have a pretty decent body count, but the fact is that they made it real. They stayed true to the characters. They stayed true to humanity, just being a person in a shitty situation. Like when Cap comes in, he's like, "Oh, I'd make you dinner, but you look pretty miserable already. Oh, you come to do your laundry?" Like just those little bits. Like that's how people are. That's how people react. Like I guess we should get a life. You first. Like
right.
It's regular dialogue. Every time they do it. It's normal people dialogue.
And it's funny too, because like Cap is Captain America, but he's just in civilian clothes, and
he's a support group.
He never acts like he's, you know what I mean? Like Superman he's always putting on airs in the fucking movies, even when he, you know what I mean? He's kind of above everyone. You never get that sense from Captain America.
And he really is. He's literally leading a support group.
Right. He's leading a support group of people.
He's trying to help people like in a normal way.
Right. He's not.
I'm not fully understanding where
he's trying to be a person.
Income is coming from, though. Like, does he have a paid position as a support group leader? Is he a life coach now?
He's Captain America. He's getting his government stuff.
Listen, Captain America has had an account since
right.
Interest. He's fine. He's
doing okay. He's like when Fry and Futurama shows up at the bank and he's got $1 billion.
That interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Harry Potter being like,
oh yeah, when his parents left
I have a bank full.
Oh yeah.
Why don't it's just like
yeah, here. Why don't we all look at Sean's face when you make a Harry Potter reference? He really likes Harry Potter.
That's not why we're here.
Listen, I've been helping Madeline understand Marvel by giving her Harry Potter references.
Excellent. Here's the thing. When I hate something, though, it doesn't mean I wish it doesn't exist, except for Aquaman. But like everything else,
yes,
like
that's fair.
I'm glad people enjoy Harry, but it's just not for me.
It's not your thing. It's not your thing.
Right. I don't like it, but like at the same time, I would never want to take that away from somebody.
Except
Aquaman. Like if you enjoyed Aquaman, I question you as a person. I question your morality. I question your soul. So
called Hermione.
I called Hermione. Is that bad? I don't know. Is that still bad? Is it a bad thing? Like I don't get it.
You're like, is that a lot? Is that a little?
But why would you even go after the quaffle if the fucking snitch is worth 150 points? It makes no fucking sense.
Because not everyone's job is to go after the snitch. It's hard to find. Not everyone's good at it. Not everyone is good at baseball. Not everyone is good at tennis.
Potter.
Some people need to play football.
But it's always 1 point. It's like, why would you go for one when you go for 150? Everybody go for 150.
Because it takes time to find the snitch. Everyone else has to do something while they're finding the snitch.
The other team get their 1 point at a time. You know what? By the time, dude, they'll have what, like 80 points? Bam, snitch over.
That one guy's like, man, I've been working my ass off.
Team out there looking for the snitch. Think about that. One dude, you have like
the games are different lengths because some people focus more on the snitch and some people don't. So the games don't always take as long.
I just like riling up people.
And if it was just about the snitch, it would be like a tennis match that nobody could see the players. Okay.
So the snitch doesn't even stay inside the court or the field. It just goes wherever the fuck.
It goes up and around and under the stands. And did you know? Okay, in one of the movies, they're literally going up and down through the scaffolding underneath the stands.
That's very dangerous. They don't even have padding. Like,
yes.
Like,
we stopped watching the movies after Dumbledore died because it made me so sad. Because I read all the books and I own all.
I think it was that movie.
Dumbledore died.
Spoiler.
No, I think it was. I don't think that it. I think that it was by that movie because in the last two movies they were like actually actively hunting Voldemort and they weren't at school.
Yeah,
like it was definitely.
We watched those.
Like
movies,
there was,
but then
I think there were. It was the third or fourth movie where he and Draco are chasing each other under the scaffolding.
I saw up to the fifth movie, I think. Then she stopped wanting to see him, so I was like, "Well, I'm not going." So I would have kept watching them though, but she didn't want to go. I
read all
go
the
by
books.
myself.
I read all the books. I own all the books.
Like I said, I just think it pisses me off that Hermione does all the fucking hard work and Harry Potter gets all the fucking credit. It's just, dude, that's bullshit.
Yes.
Like she studies her ass off, and she's what, a muggle, right?
No,
she's a muggle.
Oh my God, John.
It's got hyperventilate.
She's like,
yeah, but isn't she from like human? Just
she is a muggle born. The term is muggle born.
Is that what they call her?
She's
though?
a witch.
Don't they call her derogatory
but
names?
she's a witch.
A witch.
But the point is,
Yes, the derogatory name that they call her, Draco.
Bored into
Okay,
it.
Sean.
Like, oh, I'm Harry fucking Potter. Like,
Hey, we're talking about Marvel. What happened to Marvel? What?
All right.
Endgame.
We'll talk about this later, Sean.
What happened? What happened?
It's always fun to get.
Let's talk about Hellboy. Another
Yeah.
podcast about Hellboy.
Always ready. To
I
talk
got 10% left on my phone.
Nobody saw.
All right.
I wanted to make sure I covered everything.
Sean has a list.
Yeah, I have a list as well.
Esty and Sean both have lists of things to cover.
We talked about Fat Thor.
Make sure I actually covered everything.
Hold on, I gotta go get my charger.
Well, how cool was it though that if you go back and watch Age of Ultron, when Scarlet Witch is giving everybody those visions, and they're basically alluding to like the last two movies, like that's so cool to me that they've had this in the works.
Wait. Okay, so that was something else that I thought about, because Tony says I had a vision a few years ago and I didn't want to tell you guys.
Holly,
there's that. And then, so he had the vision of everyone fucking dying. And then the way that Cap's shield broke was similar to the way that it was in Tony's vision.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, those visions are like when he goes and sees Idris Elba, what's the character's name?
Heimdall.
Put your legs down so we can sit down.
Heimdall.
Probably up here. Heimdall. When he goes and sees him, and Heimdall's like, "You dragged us to hell," which is, it's not quite the same as Ragnarok, but it's similar to the Ragnarok. They don't mean the same thing, but that all ties in though. Like that's just crazy, because I watched Age of Ultron yesterday, and I was thinking that when
Sean made us watch like all the movies yesterday. We spent 70 hours in one day.
I have a broken foot, or I have an injured foot, so I've got some time on my hands, and
that's what I was thinking.
That was when an angle. What are you doing?
What were you saying?
Maggie, when you said that he was watching Iron Man, I was like, oh yeah, of course he's been watching the movies. He's injured. I would do that too.
Right? Yeah, that's what you do with your time. It's a good use of your time.
For sure.
Dude, I don't know. I'm so happy. I'm so satisfied.
I'm thinking about slowly watching them all again to go see Endgame again.
Yeah.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them in that chronological order. I haven't done that yet. That list I made.
Yeah.
I want to do that, but I'm waiting for Captain Marvel and Endgame to be on video so I can put Captain
video. He's gonna wait. He's waiting
home
for
video.
It.
Yes.
He's waiting for
home video.
Video in your home. Kind of like
VHS
home video.
He's waiting for it on Betamax. He's just gonna pop it right in.
I get a laser disc, and I'm gonna watch that. But just man, like I said, anyway, it's 22 movies, which is like a season of TV. I mean, obviously movies are way longer, but it's just as satisfying as watching a good season of TV, because there's so many. There's side stories. You got your Ant-Man and your Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Or whatever. And then you have like your your larger event, your Avengers movies and stuff, and to see it culminate like this, everything paid off, in my opinion. Like I'm so satisfied with this movie. Like I don't know that I could be.
For sure.
The only thing I would have liked, and this might be a little hokey and cheesy, but I can be sentimental like that, is that if Tony had made like an AI of himself for his daughter, like Jarvis Friday.
Oh, dude, that would have been sweet.
I thought that would have been a nice little touch, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad about anything in the movie. Like
that's from the comics, right, John?
No, it would have added to it.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's in the comics or not. But I think there might be setting his daughter up to be, like an Ironheart type character. I'm not sure.
That's what I was thinking. I really hope so.
So
I really hope that they continue to follow her.
So yeah, they're gonna. I think Hawkeye's daughter is going to be the next Hawkeye, because they already have a female Hawkeye in the comics. It's not Hawkeye's daughter, but
Is that what that was the comics Ironheart?
Well, yeah. What Riri Williams? She was a chick from Chicago. She became Iron Man for a while. Then Tony came back, and now they started. She's a character called Ironheart. But she's like a real young genius type character.
Well, if they do go that route, maybe they'll show that in one of the movies, where maybe he did leave something for, they can still do anything.
That's true. Yeah, you don't have to reveal everything.
I mean, you never know what she's going to find in the workshop.
Right.
She's already nosy at 5 years old.
Right. But if Robert Downey Jr. wants to do voiceover. So that's probably part of it too. They didn't want to. He's like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I did a lot of the Marvel stuff. What is with the dogs? Pedal and out, lay down.
Because we're not sitting in our usual spots.
Like they are going nuts over here. They're going to unplug us at some point. I'm pretty sure.
No,
they're going to hit the power strip.
It's because you've set up this terrible backdrop.
Is that why?
So.
I don't think they've noticed at all. So look at Steve's new background. I'm sure that's not intentional.
Oh, you have an Avengers backdrop.
No. I mean, I had to charge my phone. I was down to 5%, so I have to lay on the floor because I have a short ass charger, and like it's it's my room. I love the Avengers.
So here's.
I had to turn to plug in my iPad. So.
So I just did math.
That's my closet and my suitcases for when I move back to the US. I have more suitcases, by the way. That's not.
Rob's like, here's my tools.
All my tools dumped in the back. This is the park.
This is the random spot I pulled off.
Like, oh, this is the guy who's about to mug me.
Like, I'm pissed, so I'm gonna die.
I have my phone like on my steering wheel.
This is my work corner, but Sean junked it up for the time being with his shit. But it'll go back into hiding once we're done.
Yeah, I almost bought that shield last night. I was like, do I want to pay $150 for a piece of aluminum? But
it's $100.
Well, you said, I didn't know which one to get. They're all over the place. I had the vibranium one. Obviously, you didn't get that one. You got it.
Oh, you got the vibranium.
You got the vibranium.
My adamantium skeleton I have underneath my skin right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about X-Men. Back to Marvel, man. This is gonna be awesome.
Dude, I don't want to even start in on that, but that and Fantastic Four, like they could do this all over again with those groups of characters.
Yeah. Oh, so I just did the math. That's what I was getting ready to say. So 22 movies at approximate runtime of 2.5 hours each was 55 hours of content.
They're mostly 2 hours though.
So it's about 50 hours, 50 to 50. So 50 hours of content, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we've had about 73 hours of Game of Thrones by the time that it's finished.
So in the whole series,
in the whole series of Game of Thrones, we'll have 73 hours of Game of Thrones.
Oh, Esty, do you watch Game of Thrones?
She does not.
Oh,
so
I saw the first 2 episodes.
We could turn this to Game of Thrones stuff.
Steve doesn't watch Game of Thrones either.
Yeah, I know, but he'll be all right.
Either does Esty, so that doesn't really make any sense.
So I'm looking up the equivalent for Doctor Who.
Oh, little moments in the movie. Black Panther remembered Clint's name, which I didn't catch the first time. Yes. I don't know if you remember in Civil War, he didn't know his name. He didn't care. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. He's like, I don't care. Yeah, and, that was good.
And then what was the other little moment that I caught? I just forgot it. There was something else that it was just like a little throwback moment that made me really happy. And it just completely exited my brain.
I don't know, but I really love Paul Rudd. Like he was great. 50.
He was great.
Sounding.
I was thinking about you.
He's fantastic.
He is.
He played a major role in this movie. I was surprised.
Yeah, that made me happy.
He really did.
Yeah, wasn't that great seeing him go all big too, and on that final scene?
And he's just walking over people.
Is anybody?
He's just crushing people. It's like that's awesome.
In love with
Paul Rudd? Yes.
Chris Evans the way I am. I just want to know that.
So you were checking out his ass too?
I was checking out all of Chris Evans. He looks handsome.
America's ass.
That wasn't.
He is handsome AF. Like, no matter what he does,
right? As an old man,
will look
as a
good.
geriatric, you're like, yeah, I'd hit that.
Looks good no matter what.
My wife likes the Thor look. I would be in love with Chris Evans. You know.
Yeah,
I think that's what
listen.
with.
Chris Evans.
Does Molly like Fat Thor? Is that her thing?
No, but that's what she said. That's what she said after the movie. She's like, that's what I get for, screaming out when he took his shirt off the first time in one of the movies. She's like, and now this whole movie I get a fat Thor.
And they didn't even try. I just love they didn't even try and get him fit. He's just like, no.
My costume, man. That's like, I'm gonna be Fat Thor. I'm gonna be screen accurate Thor for once in my life. Be a Marvel hero finally. Talk about catering to groups. They've been leaving us fat dudes out for years. Like they've had very unrealistic physical body types going on.
No, they had Fat Bastard and
in the Marvel universe. That was that's right. Fat Bastard was a superhero. I remember when he flew out of the movie. What are you talking
about? He was a villain. They were villainizing us, Fat Bastards.
Right?
We finally got Spidey's friend. We got Spidey's friend. What's his name?
Ned.
The guy in the chair. Guy in the chair. Yeah, the guy in the chair.
Yeah, that's not. I'm already the guy in the chair. That's why I'm fat.
That's what happens normally.
What were you looking at? Porn?
Okay, wait. So Spider-Man.
Oh, that was the other moment. Spider-Man hug.
Spider-Man.
That was the moment.
Oh yeah.
From Tony.
And that's when I started crying. That's when I started crying.
For the night time.
So I was already
crying. That's when I started crying.
I think
got his hug from Tony.
So I knew he was gonna die, right? And he's like,
yeah. Oh no, that is okay. So I started that, and then when Tony grabbed the stones, it turned into full out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, grabbing the stones. Am I the only one that was like, how the fuck did he get all those stones so quick?
No.
You did? Okay.
No, I mean, yes, you are the only one.
I say it was nanite technology. I thought the nanites grabbed them.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
So nobody else was like, how the fuck did he get those so quick?
No.
Because when he picks up his hand, they're already moving around. So of course it was a nanotech.
Yeah.
That grabbed them.
Yeah, he was nanotech. Okay. That's like, of course. Duh.
I thought I explained it to you yesterday.
No, I was curious. I was like, I like that idea.
So so I didn't, in the moment, I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then as they're moving, I'm like, oh, okay.
And he had, when I saw it the second time, he had his hand on Thanos' hand for a few seconds. It wasn't instantaneous. Right. He really kept his hand there to get a...
Right. No, he definitely kept it there and looked at him like, give me another 2 seconds.
Yeah. Like he is definitely a distraction moment. Man, who did you guys think was wielding Mjolnir when you saw it lifting up? Because I did not. I'm an idiot, so I did not even think it was Captain America.
When
at the end of the movie, when Thanos was about to kill Thor, you see, like when I just saw the hammer levitating, I was like, I don't know who that is, but that's awesome.
It's got to be Cap because then it flew back to him.
Well, no, I knew afterwards.
No, yeah, afterwards, but like. When you're
before that,
right?
When you first see it levitate, you're like, "Who's doing?"
I think I thought it was Cap also, because I think Thor was busy.
No, I didn't. I thought it might be Hulk because Hulk has wielded Mjolnir in the comics, so I thought it was actually.
Oh, that's cool! I didn't know that.
And
so I
forgot. I counted Cap out. I think. I was like, Cap's done. Look at his shield. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, he's fucked.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I thought it was Thor. I thought it was Thor who was like, "I'm gonna die. Come here. Come, come save me."
Oh wait, it was before Cap had Mjolnir.
Yeah. That's what I mean. When you don't know that he can wield it,
he had never actually.
I think I was like, no, I think I must have either thought.
I thought it was Thor because no one else had.
I always thought
no one else.
I always thought that just from that little scene of him moving it, I was like,
the only time he did, he picked it up like this much. Yeah. So I was like, no, it must be Thor. Thor must be like, come here. Like,
the fact that he moved it at all
Maggie, I wasn't sure.
Means that he was worthy.
Yeah.
The fact that he budged it.
But the fact, like, I really thought it was Thor moving it because Thor was like, fuck, about to get cut in half here. Yeah. So, like,
no, that's what it was. I've already blended the two viewings.
Yeah, so I thought it was that. And then, like, when they showed who it was, I was like, oh, I literally audibly said, oh.
And the audience
went crazy for that. And at our show.
Yeah. No, when that happened, I just went, oh, like, again. I just, oh, like.
So could Cap always pick up Milner, and he was just.
Oh, he wasn't here.
Did you? I read a theory years ago that because he was hiding the fact that he knew Bucky killed Tony Stark's parents, that's what kept him unworthy. But with that being behind them and settled now, he was now worthy. And I mean, they never addressed it, but I choose to believe that theory. I think it makes sense.
No, I think that's a good theory, and I definitely agree with that. But I've also read a lot of stuff online that he like started picking it up and was like, "Holy shit, no, I don't want it."
Yeah.
He's like, I can't take it from Thor. Like, no. Like, he started to lift it. He's like, I don't want it. I can't take this from Thor.
That's what I mean. Like, he faked not being able to pick it up in Age of Ultron, kind of thing.
That's what she's saying.
I read a theory where it said he stopped masturbating and then he was allowed to pick it up. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but that's just what I heard.
You read that.
And what about Valkyrie? Like, where does she keep that winged horse? She's just like, does she keep that in a barn in the meantime? Like when there's not war?
Yeah, it's kind of stable. It's a pet. Like you gotta
it hangs out with them and all the other
horses. That's where I keep my Pegasus.
I don't know where
was that in the new Asgard?
Yeah, you keep it in the fishing town of New Asgard. Yeah. Like, we keep everything.
This flying horse is at my window again.
A flying horse.
Come on, I'm sure they took a few pets with them from Asgard. Their ship was big enough.
Yeah.
And they had to fly away somehow. How would they have escaped? There weren't going to be enough escape pods in that ship. So they had a few Pegasus.
Yeah.
Oh man!
So is Endgame your guys' favorite?
Oh, you hear that?
It could have died in the.
What'd you say?
The
snap! Oh yeah.
And come back. They just been out of existence.
So now she has to build it a stable.
Well, Logan made a good point. He's like, so wait, Spider-Man's friend Ned was dead too, and we're like, oh yeah, I guess so, because why else would he still be in high school 5 years later?
Which then means the other thing that Logan and Sean thought of when we were driving
is that in the new Spider-Man.
In the new Spider-Man, that means his entire class must have been dead because they're all still in the same class together.
Right. They didn't
in Europe. So this whole
or one of the conditions before Tony snapped his finger, he's like, keep everybody in that high school the same age. And then he's like, snap.
Well, the Hulk brought everybody back.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And oh man, that was so.
I mean,
that was a great scene too with the Hulk, man. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they had a custom embrace.
I like how everybody survives the fucking rain of fire missile attack too. Like only that happens in the movies. Dude, like Hawkeye just hit an awesome cavern somehow. Dude, like great job.
Well, they didn't have an awesome cavern, right? They had like all those magicians make shields of magic for them, clearly. But number two, my other thing that I was complaining about is they should have had a higher body count because
you didn't cry enough.
Because number one, I didn't cry enough, and my cry headache isn't nearly.
But that's the thing, though. That's the difference. But that's what separates it from what's.
How did Ant-Man not stand on more people? Like when he was walking, was he like, "Oh no, you're a bad guy. I'll only step on you"? Like you can't tell if you're stepping on someone from Wakanda or you're stepping on Squidward tentacles or whoever those ebony maw.
You don't know. His helmet could have like a friendly and hostile kind of targeting thing.
Then you would have to walk on your toes, and I never saw a giant Ant-Man step on his toes to avoid stepping on the wrong side.
It's the thing, though. This is where you start picking apart comic book logic. This is a fun movie. It's not a World War II recreation. We don't really want all that carnage. That's bad.
Saying,
Because we'd have like 4 people left. and he's sad. And you'd be like, Pegasus would be dead.
Listen,
like Pegasus would have one. It would be all sad.
I mean, to be fair, soldiers know that they might die, so like, it's okay.
So,
but also, right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was something with the magic. Maybe.
I'm
sure that he stepped on some folks.
Slaughter of the troops. I just want to put that out there. I'm just paraphrasing.
Support the troops.
Not support.
I'm a little bit too logical of a person for these fantasy worlds because I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's probably how it happened. But also, I live in a country where the army is such an ingrained part of the culture that I'm like.
Well, yeah, you have to like join the military if you live in Israel,
right? That's like required if you're.
No matter what.
Yeah. So short version, if you're born as like, there was a chance that I was gonna have to deal with it. I got out of it, but yeah, if you're born Israeli, like mandatory service, like when everyone else in the world was going to college, Israelis were going to the army.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm like. They probably got stepped on. But also maybe part of their magical comms that somehow everyone has when they appear on the scene, maybe part of that helped him avoid stepping on the good guys.
Right.
Imagine their comm tech.
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, they look at their tech, period.
Oh, especially Wakandan tech. Wakandan tech, they're just like, and all of a sudden it's like, everybody.
But that's what I mean. You don't want to go against the comic book logic. I mean, I love that there was a low body count. We lost Black Widow. Yeah. And we lost Tony, and I did not see Black Widow coming though. Like, I mean, as soon as they said they were going to Vormir, I was like, oh, one of them's not coming back.
Yeah, it's like,
but at the same time, I didn't know they were going to send those two to Vormir. You know what I mean? I never thought they were on the chopping block. For me, I was always thinking about Tony and Cap. Were always like the two major ones.
They're still part of them. They're still the core six. I mean, not all of the core six were going to survive regardless. Not all of the core six were going to be in a place where they could continue being heroes if they chose to do so.
Yeah.
So that wasn't entirely a surprise, especially because they're who fucking survived the snap. So they have to do something to get everyone back. But once they got up there and they were like, I guess we have, one of us has to sacrifice. I was like, it's going to be Widow.
See, that surprised me, though, because she does have a movie coming out. And again, obviously, it can be anywhere in the timeline. But
I guess it's definitely going to go backwards, especially that's why they mentioned her father's name. I think that was kind of a little nugget to entice people and to connect.
I love it.
But just because of how many times she said, before this, I had nothing. Before this, I didn't have a family. And everything was leading up to me being here in this moment. I was like, she's going to sacrifice herself so Clint can go be with his family because she knows how she saw how it fucking destroyed everything about him when they were arrested.
See, I thought Hulk would be, if you're going to take one of the Avengers, I thought it would be Hulk simply because Universal still holds the rights to self-titled Hulk movie. So I thought just because of business reasons, Hulk would be the way to go because they can't, and he didn't have, I thought he'd have a bigger part in this movie. I thought we get to see him one-on-one with Thanos.
No,
we got to see him knock Tony into the oblivion from that door when he came down the stairs.
Yeah.
And we got to see him eat tacos.
Going back to the Soul Stone. I was hoping that they would both fall and die at the same time. And then they wouldn't die.
That's what I was thinking that too, Rob. I was thinking that too because they're so stubborn, the both of them. I was like, they're gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
Right. I thought that too.
They'll both be alive and wake up in that pool
I thought
of water.
about that too.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
You don't want anybody to die, right? Nobody, in our minds, no one's expendable. You know what I mean? Like no one's expendable.
What's Logan doing?
I don't know. Logan.
No, of course not.
Crowley needs out.
Like that makes sense because they both could have made the ultimate sacrifice,
Right.
But then nobody's there to pick the stone. Then what? Red Stone.
But then nobody's there. Nobody's there. No. Rob's saying they would have both woke up in the pool.
Okay, gotcha.
But since none of them are alive, there's no one there to feel the loss. So I guess that's why it doesn't work.
Sacrifice if that's the case. So.
Right.
Pool and they're like,
no, they both sacrifice, so it cancels out. Two negatives make a positive.
Why did they just throw?
And then Red Skull gets the stone, and then he goes to join the Avengers.
Right?
Yeah.
Red Skull.
Or why didn't they just throw Red Skull over the edge?
Then we go Dark Avengers.
Throw that guy over.
Maybe Red Skull could just fucking jump and save them both.
Oh
Then,
man, I just
then one of them would be stuck there to be the Guardian.
Like the last time I clapped at a movie like that was when it was Star Wars Attack of the Clones, when Yoda pulled out his lightsaber, and I just lost my shit. I love Yoda, and I don't think I've done it since. And the fact that I said, like, the whole audience 3 or 4 times broke out into spontaneous applause. I'm like, that's what's missing from Star Wars movies now. There's no moments like that anymore. And they're trying to make this whole dark Star Wars universe with no levity, and like there's just nobody to get behind over there. It's just
they're not making a movie for the fans. That's the whole problem. They're trying.
And I don't believe the people that are making the movies are fans. Whereas Anthony and Joe Russo are clearly Marvel fans.
I'll be right back. Right. I have to pee. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
I'm gonna take your seat.
All right.
Ugh. But I feel like the Russo brothers are actually fans, and they wanted to have happy moments. You know, that moment when he hands him the shield was, that was a big moment. It sealed their relationship again. You got to see them back together. Man, they hit all the right notes in this movie. And
they really did. They really did.
They didn't.
Like, honestly, both times when I walked out, I said to like people around me, like, that was honestly perfect. They could not have done that movie.
That's how I feel.
Better. And like, obviously they could have. There are little bits, but like, there's always tiny things that yes, it could have been improved, but then it wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah, like, I just like even though the whole scene with the kitschy girl power scene, but it doesn't like ruin the movie.
It doesn't take away.
No, it's like
the things that could be improved. It's not that they negatively impacted the movie. They just give space. It's like her fucking, the best example I have is for Suits, where he's like, oh, I was in the 99th percentile. Why didn't you get 100? Because no one gets 100. Like, there's always room for improvement. And even something that's perfect isn't exactly perfect. Because
that's the thing with art. There's no such thing as like perfect art. I mean, but they crushed they delivered the emotional impact with all the the way the characters interacted, and just, like I said, shut up. Hey,
I'll be back. I gotta go check on my son, see if he's awake.
All right, but just the scene where where Ant-Man sees his daughter for the first time, like that was just little stuff like that. Like it's like she's 5 years older.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Looking for her name frantically. Yes. Oh my God, that was unbelievable, and honestly, that felt very kind of referencing 9/11.
Oh.
Having grown up outside of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Wow.
That felt very similar to that, and I think that they did that. That was honestly the best way they could have done it, and honored the people that they lost. Like that was like the best thing that they could have done. It like I had like a miniature, like, okay, I can't think about this.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Ground Zero and I've seen the site, whatever. But like
this is a low school, huh?
That was honestly, it was incredible. Like that was pure and human and normal, and the fact that there's like random people walking around and looking at what people do, and like he ran home, he's like, please don't have her name there, and he like fucking bolted. He left all of his shit in the park and bolted to find Cassie. Like that was so human.
And that's why it never felt slow to me, because those emotional moments hit really hard. A lot harder than if they just threw in a random fight scene, just to like, I don't know, all that stuff just landed really.
Everything meant something.
Yeah, and it never felt.
Everything really meant something.
Never felt like overwrought or anything. It felt it felt real, like
and
you're saying earlier.
Feel like filler.
Yeah,
there was no filler. There was no like, we don't need this scene. What are you doing? There was none of that.
Oh man, there might be deleted scenes.
Logan, you got any water?
I want to see deleted scenes on the Blu-ray. Dude, I'm going to see it.
I want to see another hour of extra footage like Lord of the Rings. Like, can you please give us that?
For sure. Give me the full cut.
Right?
Give me the full director's cut. I will pay for it.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Hey, that weapon that Thanos uses, that double blade, is that in the comic?
Oh yeah. He has a big.
Oh, okay.
He's got a big ass sword. Because he doesn't, he doesn't always have the gauntlet, or he didn't always have the gauntlet, and like he came in covered in blood, which I thought was awesome because he just used to manually have populations.
Yeah. How about that whole thing with Nebula, like knowing, or
Dude,
him finding out?
That was awesome. Hawkeye hands Nebula the gauntlet. I was like, no. Oh my god, he just went through all that shit. He just gives it right to her. He has no idea.
And you know what was great? What was great is I thought she was going to take it to him from there, but because the Russo brothers are awesome, they just had the other Nebula shoot herself.
Right.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That was the other thing too. Is just seeing.
I was trying to see with Nebula, like obviously they show her taking off the panel on her head.
Yeah.
But they don't show anything about the panel on her face.
Right.
About them taking it off. So all of a sudden she has it on. But then I was trying to see if I noticed if she had it when she came back with them to
right.
the double
I think she
agent,
just
whatever.
did the head panel. I don't think she did both.
But so that's the thing. When they show Nebula on the ground with Gamora helping her up, she doesn't have the piece on her face.
Right.
But then when Nebula goes back to Thanos, she only has the one on her head. So that was a weird inconsistency that I noticed that weird shit and it didn't mean anything. But it was like, if they had been consistent with that, it could have explained why no one noticed that she was different. Like, I mean,
she did have her hand wrapped.
I feel like you would,
which I noticed.
Right. I noticed
that
too. She had her hand wrapped.
Yeah, I thought that was
because she didn't have the robotic arm yet.
Right. Because she
had
burned
the
it off.
And she realized that. Right. But like, so I feel I don't know if it's they were too busy to notice shit like that, or because she had the face panel, obviously they didn't notice, and who gives a shit about a glove? But
yeah. I think it was one of those
things. I get
things
annoyed at little inconsistencies like that.
I think
it wasn't huge, but it was like meh.
I think it's just kind of one of those things where, and I just defer to real life. Like when I did pest control, I would wear a hat sometimes. Sometimes I'd have glasses. Sometimes I'd have glasses and no hat, or some combination. And I would see these customers every month. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they would not recognize me. After years of service, they'd be like, "Where's the other guy?" And I'm like, "I am the other guy. I just have a hat on now." So people don't notice things. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, "Oh, did she have a gold thing on her face?" I don't remember. I think you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't occur to them.
Of The Office, where they're like, "Does Stanley have a mustache?"
Right.
I think Stanley had a mustache. Stanley doesn't have a mustache.
Right.
Right. And like, on the one hand, it makes perfect sense that they didn't notice it because they were busy as shit, and then Clint falls. What am I don't know if I should know what that is. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what
fuck
that
you.
is.
Go fuck yourself.
So,
I'm gonna go get a beer after that.
And like, Clint falls to his knees, so they're all wound up. They're all like distressed about Widow, and they're all kind of still on the adrenaline high of making it back, so they don't notice. But like, she is very clearly uncomfortable.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
She's like, and then she fucking dips. Like, she's not connected with everyone, but she dips out when they go to sit by the lake.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How does no one notice that she's not there?
I think though too, because she didn't know Black Widow, so they
she still follows the crowd. Like,
anyway.
Yeah.
Nebula is a very fucking weirdo, but she also went through some shit. So I don't
know. Well, yeah, I'm not saying she shouldn't have trauma. I'm just saying
she's a fucking weirdo.
What's with the
body is a computer. Like, when half of your body is a computer, who fucking knows what's gonna happen to you?
And the other half's blue.
Well, that's because she's an alien. Listen, Gamora's green. Who cares?
Right.
Right. That's what people of color.
She still lurks in the background. Like, when she brings Tony back, she's quiet. She lurks in the background, and you don't know she's there until she says something.
Right.
But like, they would have she should have been there with them, even if she didn't know them.
So
I don't know. I feel like she should have been standing back by the trees at the end of the dock. She should have still been nearby if she was herself. Like, she would have felt weird leaving them to go freak out on their own.
Right, because she would have felt like she lost somebody during the same, same mission that you were on. You know what I mean? You would have felt some solidarity in that loss.
It was still the mission, and she still cares enough about them to be on their team.
Yeah, but again, though, it's also like that. I don't know. She's still Nebula. Like she's still.
No, she's still
I like how Gamora's not even in love with Quill anymore.
Well, she doesn't know him. She's never met him.
because she didn't. Because Quill.
I know. I think that's great. It's like Quill's like fun.
And he's like, oh, time.
Well, that's setting up Guardians 3, except the Asgardians 3. It looks like.
Right. That's what
and then they show him searching for Gamora, and so I think that's going to lead them into their next adventure together. And I don't know why
because she wasn't anywhere to be seen, and there's no way she would have been snapped. Like she wasn't really part of Thanos' army. Like she wasn't going to be on the ground fighting with them.
No, I think they showed that on purpose.
Although I wonder where she went after Nebula shot her past self.
Well, no. Well, then she went out. She met Quill after that. So that was the last time we saw her.
Right. So she was part of the battle. So she was part of the battle, but then at some point she dipped. But then she probably didn't get snapped.
Had to go,
so I wonder
to go
how
for the
that
photo
filter
opportunity,
was.
remember? So they had to do that.
She had to be like, I'm in for the
right. She had to go get ready.
I'm with her.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, she's like, hold on. Girl.
That was that.
Still. But like that's the thing that she dips. So her ride home got dusted, but she didn't get dusted. So what does she do? But she doesn't go back with the Guardians.
Right. Where is Gamora? But I think that's intentional just to set up Guardians 3, get them back together.
Right. No, it's like it's an intentional plot hole.
Yeah.
That we're gonna eventually understand because of Marvel. But
did Carol Danvers pick her up?
Oh, maybe.
I have no idea.
Well, Carol doesn't have a ship. She just flies.
She flies places, but I mean, could you just grab her? Because
not to fly into space.
They're doing a whole lesbian twist for the next movie.
Well, the chick who plays her, what's her name?
Which one?
The chick who plays
Brie Larson. I think she's bi.
Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana weighs like 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds at most. So you could just pick her up if you find her.
And Captain Marvel could have just done that thing where she's like, selfie guys, and then she'd have been right there.
Right. She would have been like, girl power, and she would have been like, hand on my hips, smile on my lips. And it would have been there. And it would have been great. They would have been fine. You want to come in here, Mace? Say hi.
Mace is terrified.
Well, I checked to see if anybody was watching our stream, and one person is. I don't know who it is, but his friend Adam has commented and said, Joe Mason.
Okay.
So
that's not. I guess that's a different thing. Oh, we're in the group chat.
This is an internal chat that people
can we see. Can we close? What have people been talking to us and we don't know?
One person listed all the spoilers, and another person said Joe Mason, and that's it.
There's been like 48 people chatting.
Right.
It's like, are they going to answer me?
We're not here for them. We're for us.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Live group chat with no audience participation.
I'm going Thursday to see it in IMAX. I got my IMAX ticket, so I'm very excited. I will look for that detail about Nebula because I was kind of looking for it today, but not real hardcore.
The face thing?
Yeah. Because I noticed it today. I was like, I wonder if she took the other thing or if they just kind of.
So the first time I noticed it and it bugged me. So this time when they showed her again after she didn't have it, I made sure to see if she had the side.
Oh, okay. So you didn't notice it. Okay.
They didn't take it off her. They didn't show taking it off of her, but they showed the same weird techie gap with the gears in her head also was on her cheek.
So, yeah.
Off camera. Off camera.
So it happened off camera, but I saw that she had the same opening on her cheek that she did on her face.
Gotcha.
But if it just annoys me, they showed Nebula with both of them, but then in another scene she only has one. I'm like,
yeah,
fix it.
Gotcha.
And that was probably just production bullshit error, but
right. I'm excited to see it in IMAX though, because they actually filmed the whole thing in IMAX, which is rare for kind of movies. So
that's going to be really cool.
It'll be the whole aspect ratio. Will open up on the top and bottom a lot more. So
yeah, it's so exciting.
Plus that 70,000 watt IMAX system. I'm very excited. You can mock me all you want.
I will.
I'll be going after.
No, that's going to be really great.
That's all that matters. Oh.
You go after this snitch, I'm going to cut the quaffle 150 times.
Yeah, good luck.
It's fine.
Grab me a snitch.
So, was Endgame your favorite of the MCU?
I think it's got to be, man. Like it's the same thing with like Return of the Jedi. Like I like closure. I think they just closed it perfectly. Dude, nothing's gonna top that moment with Cap and the hammer, dude. Like nothing I've seen before that.
Definitely no.
Yeah, like that
is definitely one of the top moments of the entire last 12 years. Like 100%.
Yeah, that was so badass. Yeah, man, that was just.
Cool.
I mean, just wielding it like a champ, man. It was just awesome.
It's Rob with his motorbike.
No, Rob has traffic.
Oh,
I have traffic.
But Iron Man though, like just I love too that I didn't want Tony Stark to die. I know there's some weird faction of people on the internet that wanted Iron Man to die, but I'm not one of those people. And yeah, they're like, I hope Tony Stark died. You see these comments all the time, and it's like, why do you go watch a different movie? Why are you here?
Because people are terrible.
Yeah, but just he started this universe and he ended this. It's just like it's sad, but awesome at the same time.
It was the right it closed his loop correctly.
Yeah. And he went out a hero. Because
without that, and because they always say like, you're not, because they had that whole fight a few movies back where Cap was like, you're not the guy to make the sacrifice play.
Yep.
And he clearly is, and he did it.
Right.
Yeah, but he did it in the Avengers though. I mean, he sacrificed everything.
And his dad said to him that if he had a son and he was like him, that he would be for himself and not for the greater good. Right. And then he was for the greater good, and I was like, "What?"
For the greater good for a while.
No, of course. I was just like,
cried, and
he's like, "Oh yeah, he dropped some pearls." Like the way that he just accepted the way that his dad was, and he like acknowledged that there were mistakes, but there was good in what he did as well. Like that was so much closure for Tony. Like that was enormous.
And he was able to finally understand what his dad was always doing too, because like growing up. He didn't know he was, trying to save the world, so to speak, and working towards that kind of thing. So I think being able to talk to his dad without all the angst that he used to have back in Iron Man 2 or whatever, that was.
And now that he's a father, he understands that there's things that you do that are, that don't look right. And so that's why he recorded the video for his daughter, and I love you 3000. And
every moment.
Shit's sad.
Hey, Rob had to, or I don't know if I was talking to you, Sean, or Rob, but somebody had to tell me who that one singled out kid, that singled out kid at the funeral was. Like, I had no idea that was the kid in Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay.
I saw a picture of Harley with Peter. I don't remember Harley's actor's name, but I saw a picture of the two actors together, I think on a red carpet. So I was like, ooh, he's going to show up somehow, because they're not just, whatever stuff. I'm going to bring him to a premiere. So when he was standing by himself in front, it just, I just was like, Harley! Like, and I hope that means that they're going to bring him back, because there is so much potential for what their relationship was, and it shows that they maintained a relationship, and Tony didn't just say, hey, thanks, here's a lab for you, bye. Like, he actually picked up with him, like, I've like read fan theories that like Tony secretly funded this thing and that and made sure he got into college, whatever. Like, I want to see what that relationship was. I want to see it. I want to see what Harley does. I want it.
I didn't know the kid's name. I thought it was a contest winner who won a walk-on part with no line. I didn't know.
It was the same actor.
I had no idea the kid's name either.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he was just a kid.
Harley.
Oh,
the kid.
I've only seen Iron Man 3 like 100 times. It's weird that I just now learned that kid's name.
Is the not so annoying kid in a movie. That's what I thought.
I like the kid in that movie for sure.
Yeah, that's why I said the not so annoying.
Did he have his Hello Kitty watch on,
right?
Yeah, was he wearing that?
The Hello Kitty?
No, the Hello Kitty watch was his sister's.
Rob, you're right though. We didn't get a proper scene for Black Widow, that's for sure. That's sad.
Yeah.
She did not get the love that she deserved.
It took me 2 days to realize that.
I didn't realize it all until you said it.
Yeah, they could have at least had a picture of her at at the end or something.
They should.
Right.
They
Maybe a
should.
little pot of flowers.
They did. They had Hawkeye talk about her or whatever. So maybe they just.
Right.
I'll just put it. I just think that they just focused on Tony for the sake of the movie instead of having 36
Right.
fucking endings like fucking Return of the King.
That's
They
the
kinda-
extended edition.
Yeah. Well, dude, even the original. I remember there's like the way this wrapped up. Everything made sense, and everything in Return of the King. I was just like, I stopped caring 20 minutes ago about the fucking Hobbit.
I know. How many times did you think that movie was ending?
Right.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's the seventh ending.
Return of the King has more happy endings than a porno. Like it's it does. Too many. But this one, they had the right kind of denouement for everything, for every character that you know. Black Widow did not get her due. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But I think they just didn't show it, is what I'm gonna guess, because
Clint probably did something small on the farm and like planted something for her off camera. Like there's no way that they were so close. They were he's so broken up about it. He did something for her. It's off camera and we should have seen it, but he did something.
We did see them collectively mourn for her, though. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a service, but right after her death,
when they got back from the time travel,
it wasn't like a memorial service, but we got to see, you know, how they dealt with her. You know, they didn't just move on with it and be like, well, you're gonna break some eggs, you know, like they
like Superman.
Right. Just like, people die. What are you gonna do? We got stuff to do. Man, I don't know what else I could even say about the movie. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see it again. Cry some more. I can't wait to see it in IMAX. And I haven't been to an IMAX movie in a long time. And again, reading that they actually filmed it in IMAX versus a lot of times they only film parts of movies in IMAX, like with Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. There are certain scenes that open up to IMAX ratio. This whole movie is in the IMAX ratio. So I think that'll be really cool.
Estee's iPad dies. She'll be back in a minute.
Oh, okay. Rob, what do you want to add?
I got nothing, man. It was a gorgeous movie. I loved it.
How would you rank
I mean, it was.
Soldier?
Huh?
How would you rank it with Winter Soldier?
Man, it might pass it.
Yeah?
Winter Soldier's still my best, but
really,
man, this is just
Avengers. First Avengers is still mine.
Yeah.
Still my favorite.
I get it. I don't know. This was such a great movie. I mean, I don't think you could do any better. I don't know. I think it's a perfect film.
Yeah.
It was damn perfect, you know? Like as far as, you know, just wrapping everything up and everything. The fight scenes, everything it's just a perfect movie.
Jesus.
You know?
Sorry, my iPad decided to die without warning me, and it's been plugged in, but it
Esty just goes through different forms of technology. Eventually, she's going to be a hologram in our living room.
Eventually, I'm just going to get on a fucking plane and show up at your house.
Right. Yeah. I took a plane.
She's like, I hacked my Commodore 64. Can you sue me?
Eventually, Esty just shows up at our house. She's like, I located you from your Snapchat, and I figured out where you live.
It's going to be like Avengers. We're just all going to hear her in our ears at some point.
Right.
Like, on my left.
On your left.
On my left.
On your left. On your left. She like warps in right between you guys.
That moment, Doctor Strange circle opens up. Here's Esty.
Like we see in our chat bar, it's like Esty has joined your group chat.
She shows up right behind Sean. I brought you the snitch.
Yeah. She's like, on my way. I grabbed the snitch. Here you go.
Like, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
This little fucking wing hook up.
She'll just.
I do actually have a pop figure of Harry on a broom,
So she's like, she'll bring it. Is what she's saying.
She's like, yeah, I got that.
I'm halfway there. It's fine. And I have a robe. I do have a robe.
I knew it. I told you.
You have a scarf though? Gotta have a Gryffindor.
I have a scarf back in the U.S.
Oh, you're not Gryffindor? Are you Slytherin?
No, that's me.
Maggie's Slytherin. She got sorted.
Okay, you don't know me.
I don't know what that is.
What is that? I can't see. Let's go. I lost.
What is Hufflepuff? Is that always every time I hear Hufflepuff, I always think it's like somebody that has like issues with congestion or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just makes me think of sneezing. I don't know why.
Because of puff tissue.
Is that why?
Yes.
I'm gonna huff and I puff. I think that's what it is. It just makes me think of blowing. No advertising.
Non-spines puffs with tissue or puffs with lotion.
Point is, I'm going to appear in your living room.
Right.
What is this?
She's just going to be the Matrix eventually, and she's going to be. Where's Esty? And Esty's like, I am everywhere.
I am inevitable.
She's going to be like, hi, Sean.
It's going to be like that. She's just going to be a code, like a face made out of code coming out of the screen.
Why did I choose the blue pill?
Right. All right, so speculation. We got Spider-Man coming up. Spider-Man is going to close out this phase. This is not the last movie in this phase. Spider-Man is. So my prediction.
You know what I would? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say I think we're going to get a more mature Spider-Man. I mean, I'm hoping we do, like, because after having dealt with this horrible tragedy that we're gonna.
And it also takes place in another 3 years.
Oh, is that? I see. I didn't know that. So that's spoiler alert, SD. I don't read
things.
3 years later. He's still in high school.
Jesus Christ.
3 years later, Thor's even fatter.
It was apparently I don't know. I was reading up something on the fact that it's Phase 4 and it's supposed to take place 8 years after Infinity
War. Wait a minute.
War.
You're talking about Spider-Man or the next phase?
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Like, it was like a combination of I was looking up what the hell is happening next.
Yeah.
And I found somewhere that they say that the next Spider-Man is supposed to take place 8 years after Infinity War, which means 3 years after Endgame.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So are they?
Which
they, like 5,
still
6
doesn't
years
make
seniors?
sense because,
Right.
yeah, what year of high school are they in?
Right. They've been in high school far too long. They're like a cartoon character.
It's like fucking Glee.
Right. Right. So, which actually could work if they end up in college, because with the snap and everything in high school for too long, and somehow their entire class was snapped.
I just don't feel like that's. I don't know. Nick Fury's still around.
Maybe.
He doesn't look any older. I just feel like because this Spider-Man is supposed to close it out, though, why would they put it so far in the future if it's supposed to close out this this phase? You know what I mean? Like, is it supposed to be?
That's true.
I'm not saying you're wrong because I don't know. It just seems weird.
No. That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
no, it's definitely a good point. But also in terms of Nick Fury not looking any older, I mean, look at Paul Rudd. He looks like he's 20 and he's 50. So there's some sort of youth.
Sam Jackson has looked the same age for a long time, but
right. So like the fact that he doesn't look older isn't enough of a hey, this doesn't look like any time has passed.
Yeah. So, but Pete's still living at home, so that's why I struggle with that. Like, I just feel like
maybe it's not 3 years.
So like I know he's young. He's only 15 in Homecoming.
So if he was 15, then okay, so then a couple of years would work if it's their senior trip.
Okay. So
I don't know.
3 years would work if it's senior year. Yeah.
But he's also he's a year behind what's her name?
Liz.
Yeah, she's a senior and is he a junior or is he a sophomore?
If he's 15, he's a sophomore.
If he's 15, he's a sophomore.
But that's or
a freshman.
Or he's either a sophomore or a freshman.
Okay.
So
So that school goes on way too many field trips, regardless of what year it is.
Our whole family is in this room, by the way.
Dude, they went like Aiden's like trip to like Canada was like $4,000. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's where you're coming from. You're so far away from Canada.
Memphis,
that makes
sense. But still.
Well, because the trip includes everything if they're children. It includes room and board and food and spending money and entrance to stuff. Like, I've been on enough school trips and trips through my youth group that like I know what what goes into the cost of these trips. And like, I mean, I went to day school, but every year each class had a big field trip. My my 8th grade trip, we went to Israel for 2 weeks. Like I was the first class that did that, but we went to Israel for 2 weeks. Like I've been on school trips that are a couple
not a usual trip. That's not.
Yes, it is an unusual trip. But otherwise, it's
not
like,
usual.
I mean,
where'd you go for your
trip? We went to Boston.
Oh.
In 8th grade, we went to, like in Israel. Yeah. And I was the first
like
class.
Going to
like,
the Garden of Gethsemane. We're going to hit Nazareth. We want to hit Calvary Hill.
We went to I went to Germany, but it was like, you know, extra. Like it wasn't like everybody to Germany. It was like an extra trip.
No, that's my point. These trips always cost extra. They're not just included in tuition. That's the point. Like the trip to Israel also cost extra. There were a few kids that didn't go because they couldn't afford it. Like in my high school, there were trips with the language clubs in junior or senior year to like France or to Spain. Like
club trip. It wasn't like
so.
All right, you guys.
Which could be, if they're studying Italian, they could end up in Italy, which makes sense for the trip.
Yeah, if I'm spending $4,000, I'm going to Italy, man. I'm not going to
like, you ain't going to Canada. I've been to Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Canada.
No, Canada needs to take a fucking road trip. Screw that.
Hi, I'm in Delaware.
So we know. Here's what we know. We know we're getting another Captain Marvel movie. Probably getting another Black Panther movie. There's
Mason.
We're getting a
there's a Black Panther.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians.
What else are they setting up then? Like, I mean, or do we just?
There might be another Ant-Man.
Ant-Man could have a third one.
Yeah.
Another Ant-Man.
Shit, where's my?
Wasp could get her own movie. They could.
I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I like that too.
I liked.
Yeah, that was good.
But I actually watched it for the first time the other day, and I really enjoyed it.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it's just cute.
We don't know what's going on with Spider-Man because we don't know if Sony's going to let him use Spider-Man anymore. What else? I'm trying to think. Well, I know Rob, what didn't they announce that like Shang-Chi, I think, is the other one they announced.
Yes, that's what it was. I have a list of the movies that they announced. But yes, Shang-Chi is one of them. And
what's Shang-Chi? I don't know anything about that.
He basically came out when
a super martial artist.
And he doesn't in the comics. He doesn't have any superpowers or anything, from what I understand.
Oh, sweet! Right. Yeah, that's kind of superhero I want. I want the superhero.
Well, they're trying to tap into that Asian market. The Chinese market is the biggest market, so it makes sense from that standpoint. But also, I would love to see.
Oh, Widow, Black Widow is
movie.
Yes,
David Harbour.
They think it's going to be released early May 2020. I mean, they sent out a list of movie release dates. They just didn't put any movies to them. The Eternals apparently is going to be a thing.
Man,
what's that about?
I don't even know. Like
that is the Celestials. An advanced. I literally researched this. There was like an advanced alien race that basically created an offshoot evolution of humans, and so they have it's like humans born with special powers, and so that's going to be the curveball coming in.
But I think the Inhumans have something to do with that too. But they made
that's what I was just going to say. I think it's related to the Inhumans.
But that could have been.
That was horrible. Did anybody watch that?
No.
Anybody watch it?
No.
No, I didn't get to.
I tried so bad to watch it, but it just.
That sucks.
Oh man.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well then, I mean, X-Men and Fantastic Four, Deadpool will be part of the universe. I keep forgetting that. Like we're gonna have Deadpool.
Right.
We're gonna have Wolverine.
Right.
We're gonna have Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Although I think that I was in my research, I found an article saying that maybe they'll put Wolverine, they'll have Hugh Jackman do something else because he's fucking old already to be to Wolverine.
Well, he could be Old Man Logan. There's a whole Old Man Logan comic if they wanted to bring him over and he was willing to do it.
He's dead.
Right. He doesn't, but that's the Fox universe. That has nothing to do with this universe. So spoiler
alert.
They're going to recast Wolverine though, hopefully, and have like a young Wolverine, have him interact with Deadpool. Man, there's so many possibilities.
With a new Deadpool?
No. Ryan Reynolds is staying on. It's the one thing they're keeping.
Oh, they
Fox.
are?
Yeah.
But
because it makes money. It's a huge money maker.
I thought with him being so R-rated, with it being Disney.
Well, Disney said that R-rated properties that they purchase, like Alien and stuff, would still stay R-rated properties.
Wowee!
Yeah. Yeah.
That's huge.
Cool.
Yeah. So they're because that's money though. When you think about it, like why would they?
Yeah.
You don't want to neuter your Alien franchise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so man, all those X-Men, all the Fantastic Four stuff, which I don't even know what they're working on now. But man, the possibilities are endless.
Right.
There's so many epic X-Men storylines. I'm kind of.
And they have yet to get that right. Fantastic Four.
They didn't do. They made the Skrulls good guys, which was weird to me. They've always been bad guys, and I thought they missed an opportunity for a Skrull invasion, but that doesn't mean we can't have bad Skrulls in the future, though. You know, we've met the Skrull; they could be here, so that's a possibility too. That I'd like to see him explore.
Right,
dude. We'd never. So we're just all assuming that you've seen Captain Marvel if you've seen Endgame, because otherwise that's silly. But
otherwise, you're dumb.
We'll go see it, Logan.
I don't want to see it.
Oh, okay.
Logan hasn't seen it.
He doesn't care. He didn't really.
Logan, you're wrong.
But like the Skrull, man.
I don't think I need to see any Marvel.
You done with Marvel movies,
Logan?
Logan?
Marvel movies. That's how I felt until Endgame came out, and then I decided to see it anyway.
I don't need to see any more.
Yeah, like where it is, like.
Yes, you do, Logan.
She went to see.
You ever see these future movies being as colossal as these last two?
Dude, I mean, they were building towards it. So over time, yes, but from the beginning, like I remember going to see Iron Man in the theater and and loving it and enjoying it. And then like a week later, I went and saw Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk came out like real shortly thereafter. And like seeing the end of Iron Man and seeing Nick Fury at the end. And again, this was seeing Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, because I loved the Ultimates version of Nick Fury. He was always just some white guy in the old comics, but in the Ultimates universe, which is a fantastic storyline, especially the first Ultimates storyline, which is a separate universe. The artist Brian Hitch made Nick Fury literally based on Sam Jackson, like just ripped off his image 100%. And so when he showed up at the end of Iron Man, looking just like his comic book counterpart, I was like, what? And then I was just reading the other day with Jon Favreau. He said that they threw that in as like just kind of a shout out to the fans, to the comic book fans. He said they were hoping that it would go somewhere. They didn't know how much money Iron Man was going to make. Obviously you never know. They didn't know how popular it would be. So he said it was almost more just a little bit of like, hey, wouldn't this be cool? And they had no idea, And then the end of Incredible Hulk, you get Tony Stark and Ross talking, and then like so within a month we had two movies in the same universe, and it like I remember I was hesitant. I was like, are they going to do this? Are they going to bring these people together? Are we going to see Hulk and Iron Man together? At no point did I even think it was going to be Avengers. You know what I mean? I was just like, cool, we can get Hulkbuster armor. That was like as big as my imagination went at the time. So cool. Like that was like it. If I'd have seen that, I'd have been happy. So to go this far from 2008, that month was crazy. Literally like Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and The Dark Knight all came out within like weeks of each other. It was a very busy month. But to go from that to where we are now.
So who's your next core characters? Like you got Spider-Man. But
again,
who's
Spider-Man?
Maybe.
So,
maybe.
For me, it would be.
That's right. You don't know about Sony. That's right. Sorry, I forgot.
I'm curious about Wolverine. I want to see what they do with Wolverine. I love Deadpool, obviously. I would like to see the Punisher rejoin the cinematic universe, but I don't know if he ever will. But those are my favorite. Wolverine. And Deadpool.
Well, yeah. I guess my initial question was just, do you ever see the next core group being as big as this core?
I think the X-Men, absolutely. X-Men could absolutely be this big because the X-Men have a ton of history, not just in the movies, but in the comics. You got Cyclops, Jean Grey, you got Mystique. You could lift stuff from the cartoon. You could bring in Jubilee. There's so many characters in the X-Men universe that are already loved. Gambit. So yeah, I feel like the X-Men could absolutely be as big as Avengers, and they have their own world-ending storylines. Granted, they've done Dark Phoenix twice now, but we haven't even seen the second one yet. But they have other storylines. Plus, they can create their own storylines. They don't have to stick to that kind of stuff. But I think Marvel proper, their take on the X-Men is going to be way better than what Fox put up there.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
So even if they do revisit Dark Phoenix, I'd be in because it'd be better. So I'd be okay with it.
The third reboot.
Yeah,
like with Spider-Man, the third reboot.
Yeah,
third time's a charm.
All right, I got 4%. I'm about to fall out. My son's waking up too, so I'm gonna dip out.
Join us, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been awesome, guys. Fucking love your show. Keep it up.
We can wrap now because it's been 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I gotta go home. Well, you can keep talking. I just want to let you go. No, I might disappear in like 12 seconds.
Steve, is it okay with? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's literally as long as Endgame, so we could probably.
We're in the end of Endgame now.
And Logan's making me noodles, and it's kind of loud.
I don't know if you can hear it, Logan, but he's destroying our kitchen with pots and pans right now. I don't know what's happening. It's the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So what's our next live chat? Spider-Man then?
Possibly, yeah.
Dude, we should get together.
So down.
Stuff all the time.
Are you guys going to go opening weekend and see Spider-Man?
I'm gonna try to.
Try.
Yeah. Are you watching my kids?
It comes out early July. I should be able to do that because I think my parents are going to be in town at the end of the month, but beginning of the month I should be able to see it opening weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'll be there opening night. He's my favorite character.
Stop it.
I know you will.
I really liked Homecoming, so I'm definitely I'm not the greatest Spider-Man fan, but I really enjoyed that movie. So
I just can't believe,
I can't wait till this next one.
How this new Spider-Man has, it has Mysterio, it has Hydro Man, there's Molten Man, Sandman. How is this possible? How are there 4 villains in this fucking movie? I can't wait to see how they do it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for joining us, and to our one viewer, thanks for watching.
We have 2 comments. All right. One of which is a local classmate of one of our kids. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye.
Bye, SD.
Bye.